Good evening, everybody. Good evening indeed. Welcome to Simracersworld TV. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media. And of course, welcome to the British Boring Car Championship. We're here in Daytona for the Christmas beach party. Not quite a beach, you could say. There is grass on screen, as you can see there, but we are doing 4 events this evening to make up what a lot of sim racing series now do as their Christmas beach party at the end of the year, just to celebrate the great things about their championship, and we're going to be having a lot of fun with this one. So, to walk you through the evening and how this is going to go, we basically have a number of different events going on. The first one will be tonight as the opener, which is here on the Daytona Short Infield circuit, and as you can see there, I've still got, for some reason, it's decided to show the details from last night's event that I was broadcasting, so bear with me. Typical technology, isn't it? There you go. We're on the Daytona International Speedway Infield course, tiny little road course, which is a hell of a lot of fun to race on. Now these cars have been having a bit of fun running around so far, and as you can see, we've got a lot of them out there. So this is practice at the moment. Everybody, I think, is just having a bit of a practice race together as things stand. Now we're looking at Matt Draycott, who of course is reigning champion. Now the Team Red Ring cars have golden windscreen banners, of course, as they won the Teams Championship. All the drivers will be wearing their numbers from where they finished the championship. So you'll see that a lot of the guys... Oh, there's this contact there. A lot of the guys will be running very different cars to what you saw throughout the season. Calvin Dent's car, obviously, very chrome red. As you can see there, it's a lot darker as Steve Burke gets pushed off the circuit. We've got Michael Blake in the number 2 car as well. He's in on the action. For some reason, not showing on the list. Let me just get Michael added. I think it's just not picked up his name properly or something. Oh, he has a very scary moment there with one of the other drivers around him. But he, of course, drives for Might Just Fit. He was teammates with Andy Fox this season, and the two of them did a wonderful, wonderful job. And Michael, to be fair to him, you know, finishing second in the championship at the end of it is... Oh, there's big contact there. Luke Austin's in the wall. There's a car in the sky, and, well, this is what you can suggest... This is what you can expect over the course of the night. Now, I did think that I had damage turned off for a lot of these. Josh Rayfield's car is absolutely battered there. Luke Austin's is destroyed. Jack Werrell is on track. He's side by side with Calvin Dent. Now, there's 2 Nodaphone cars on screen with blue banners, one of which is actually Fraser Smith in the number 67 machine. Hello. He's very much out of shape there in the number 67 car. Jack Werrell in the number 65. Let's just try. Should we try? We'll go on board with a lap of the circuit. Let's start again. We'll go on board for a lap of the circuit with Fraser Smith. Calvin Dent smacks into Liam Silkstone. The 96 in front there is Ben Bennyworth, who's actually wearing one of the few sort of invitational liveries. It did open up to public entries, actually, so Ben is wearing this livery. Which I must admit, I am a huge fan of. I do love it. Glossy snowflakes, chrome all over it. Sebastian Hebra, good to see you, mate. Good to have you with us. Apologies if we have any frame rate drops tonight, guys. It seems that every so often something is just flickering and I'm dropping a couple of frames, but hopefully we should be alright. But what I was going to say is we've got 2 Nodaphone cars with blue banners on. Steve Burke, who is carrying it for the majority of this season, as through the middle he goes. There's cars off everywhere, all smacking into each other. It's a bit of a destruction derby so far, because I thought damage was off, but apparently not. Damage is going to be off for some of the races over the course of the night. Good evening, Super PV. There's Fraser Smith getting very sideways. Jake Robertson is back, and he is currently fastest at the moment. He actually has his driver picture there as well, as you can see. Part of the Apex Racing team. Wow, boys. Wow, oh, wow indeed. Some of these guys are going to be not taking it easy. Let's just say that. They're just going to be pushing and having fun, as you do, over the course of an event like this. Ben Bennyworth and Ben Hicks are the two in the, what we're going to call the wrapped present cars. Two independent machines in the background. Liam Silkstone's in the wall. Andy Fox is there as well. Dan McCauley's back out there tonight in the Team Jane Fonda car, the number 41. And it's Victor Oliveira. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Good to see you indeed. Josh Rayfield and Matt Draycott, numbers 1 and 7. Like I said, with the gold windscreen banners. Matt Draycott with the yellow wing mirrors. Josh with the red. And Team Red Ring, as you saw, team's champions this season. Michael Blake. I must say, Michael was very impressive in the last part of the season. 5 podium finishes in a row. And he managed to turn around what was quite a bit of bad luck mid-season to end up 2nd in the championship from being 5th just a couple of races before the end. Now, who's partway around a lap? We've got Josh Rayfield partway around a lap now. So, we all know this right-hander here at Daytona. We're using the older Daytona. It's very bright. Now, normally you'd be getting over to the right-hand side to go left here onto the oval, but Matt jumps into the pits. This is the last corner. I know. There's so many different tarmac changes there. It's very difficult to get it right, and it's hard to judge. Of course, well, Victor Oliveira, do you feel a bit alone for broadcasting alone? To be honest, Victor, I've always broadcast this series on my own, if not with the help of BTCC's actual commentator from ITV4, David Addison. So I do enjoy. I run this series. I broadcast this series. I do everything for this series in terms of liveries, all the stuff on the website and so on. It's a one-man show in terms of organisation, but these guys are the real stars of the show, the drivers that get out there and do it. It's a lot of fun. These guys, you may not see some very serious racing from these lot tonight. They're going to have a lot of argy-bargy and a lot of laughs. This is Calvin Dent and Steve Burke, who had a lot of great battling throughout the season. They had an epic duel at Alton Park mid-season, and look at them once again now. Side by side into turn 1. A bit of a kiss there on the door. Calvin Dent down the inside. They do have red rings. They are actually known as Team Red Ring. Steve Burke also, for some reason, not showing as on the list. Why has it not picked him up? I'll just try and see if I can get that fixed. There we go, done it. Beautiful. He should show now as Nodaphone if we click on him. There he is. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, this series. I would put a link in the chat, but I'm on my account rather than Simracersworld TV's. But if you go to chazdraycott.com/boring-cars, you will find out as much information as possible, hopefully, about the British Boring Car Championship. We've just finished our 2nd season, of which, annoyingly, my brother won. Everyone called it to be a fix. But Matt Draycott won the championship. Good to see Andy Fox out there as well. Andy's been a real hero for this championship, as Liam Silkstone makes himself a hero in the side of his door. Here's Ben Bennyworth, the number 96. Ben Hicks as well, I must say, in the number 35 machine. He was really hoping to get in on this championship during Season 2. And he's very, very pleased to be finally out there with the rest of the gang. Here's Niall Crowther in the dodgy MOT machine. Get a bit of a closer look at Niall's car. Obviously a mock of the Rapid Fit Mondeos from back in the day. Oh yeah, ultimate pinball memes do await. Andy is... Oh, Niall's gone straight on there. And through go the squadron. Now here's Steve Burke and Calvin Dent still having a little scrap. We've only got just under a minute until the end of practice, and then we've got a 10-minute qualifying session, a 15-minute race. Now, I'll just quickly tell you about the format for the rest of the night then. So the Christmas party takes on 4 different aspects of motorsport, all in the same cars. These guys will be using the same cars all evening. So, wow, Ben Bennyworth had a massive accident there. we have this first road race that we're going to be doing, a little 15-minute sprint race around here. We are then going to be opening up the walls, and we're going to be taking to the oval for a complete oval race as the second event of the day. Then we're going to have a dirt oval race. We're going to travel down the road in Florida to USA International Speedway and get on the dirt there as Calvin and Steve decide to have an accident. Fraser Smith's going to cause one by the look of this. Pinball! Oh, it's Rayfield that loses out. And well, we hear the second bit of contact, but we don't see it. But yes, we are going on a dirt oval. And then to round out the evening, the final race of the night, wait for this, is going to be a full-blown Rallycross race meeting round Daytona Rallycross circuit, the long one as well. So it's called Beach Party because it's all at Daytona Beach pretty much. It's all in Florida. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Really do hope you guys enjoy the show. It's a lot of fun to bring this on. And while I've got a moment as well, I just want to thank everybody that voted for me in the VCO Simi Best Commentary Award. Because it means a lot to have even been nominated for that. And obviously congrats to Lewis McGlade, teammate of mine at Zanshow, for winning that. He's had a mega year, as a lot of us had in that category as well. It was very tough to call. It was actually the closest category of all of them. But honestly, thank you everybody that did vote for me. It means the absolute world. Now, onto a qualifying lap then. Fraser Smith in his full send racing overalls. Some of the drivers do have the normal overalls on from the season. Other drivers will just have whatever I've commentated on them in. Out of turn one, we all know this bit. We all know the infield. But as mentioned, the track is very, very deceiving indeed. So, onto the brakes again. Long right hand, you can hear Fraser really changing down. Although he's still in fourth there. Onto the power again. Through the long sort of octagonal apex right-hander. And across the line goes Fraser. The line is there. Let's see what sort of times come in. So Robertson, 45.990 goes top. Calvin Dent, 45.958. And hello, Liam Silkstone. My God. Wow. Okay. So this is what happened further back. You've got Dan McCauley, Andy Fox and Liam Silkstone all having a bit of a scrap together as I bang my elbow on the keyboard. Oh, contact there. Oh, and contact with Liam and Andy. And Liam goes across in front of the leaders and somehow does not get taken out. So Calvin Dent currently fastest, your new independent champion as well. The mediocre cup for independents, not the Michelin Cup for independents as it used to be way back when. Smith has gone up to 7th. McCauley goes 3rd. Draycott goes 5th. Michael Blake improves. Oh, as Draycott nearly hits the back of Steve Burke. Rayfield is 3rd. Bennyworth is 11th. Look at all of them. Awful, aren't they? Absolutely awful. Watching them just filter through here again. And the pace these cars carry is very impressive, you know. Mid-corner speed in these things is pretty rapid. As we see Josh Rayfield and Steve Burke, these two have had so many great battles this season. As in front it's getting a bit messy. Oh, we've got Luke Austin off the circuit. Good to see Luke back out there tonight as well. Of course, one of the owners of Alpha Live, who I've done some commentary for this year. It's always good to work with those boys. This is Ben Hicks. Down the inside, Carl Jacqueline, who's had a hell of a season, to be fair. Carl's done a mega job. And we obviously hope that that continues for him if the series does a season 3. Now there will be a couple of ad breaks just between each round while I get back into the session, but we'll hopefully be doing some driver interviews, just having a chat with some of the guys between each race. We'll go on board with Carl Jacqueline then, as he sets himself up for a lap around this very short circuit here at Daytona. He's currently 5th. He's got a lot of slow cars in front of him there. Not quite sure what's happened, whether they've just come out of the pits. That's Dan McCauley, Fraser Smith and Steve Burke. The amount of lock you can use in this car as well. It's on a newer tyre model as well, as of a few weeks ago. So it's a little bit more understeery. You have to work to get the temperature in the tyres. As Carl's gone very deep there, actually letting Andy Fox go through. Dan Mould in the chat, good to see you, mate. Good to see you indeed. So Carl Jacquelette's now got Liam Silkstone right behind him in the number 9 machine. He's having a real run through there. Just going to quickly sort something out on here actually, because I've realised that we've got quite a lot of driver numbers for some of the guys that finished in the top 10 this season that aren't quite right. They still match up on the cars, but they don't match up in the sim, so we'll be sorting that out. Just to make sure that we have it right, because we don't want things to be wrong in the British Boring Car Championship, do we? No, we don't. We don't want people having the wrong numbers at all. So just bear with me 2 seconds while I sort these out, because there's quite a few of them to do. Okay, should be good. Although I say that, we've got 2 pages worth of drivers to get through, so I just want to make sure it's right. I'm sure you can all appreciate how it can be. It's not easy to get all of it right all the time. We do have our issues. Anyway, Calvin Dent fastest, Andy Fox currently second by 9 thousandths of a second. That's the sort of pace we want to see from Andy. We love that sort of stuff. And it's Jake Robertson and Josh Rayfield. Dan McCauley currently in 5th. He's just ahead of Andy on track as well in the Team Jane Fonda machine. But as mentioned, this is just a bit of a fun evening to celebrate the championship and the drivers that have helped it be what it is this year. Because, let's face it, without a good grid of drivers, we wouldn't have been able to put the series on. And there would have been nothing to broadcast. So, any improvements this time round from anyone? Keep an eye on the times. No such improvement from McCauley or Fox, Jacquelette or Rayfield. Steve Burke still in 10th as well. The Mew in chat, good to see you, mate. Yeah, you're right. They do clearly need something a little more toned down. I was actually thinking to myself today, I saw I think it's the Suzuki Alto Works edition. I saw a Suzuki Alto today and it reminded me of, as Werrell's had a big crash. There's contact in front between Draycott, Austin and Michael Blake. It just reminded me of these sort of original Gran Turismo races you used to do, where you get the terrible things like Vauxhall Amigas and your Toyota Yaris 1 litres against each other, and I would love to see that happen in real life. It really got me thinking, would this happen in real life? Could we see that? And it's given me the idea to try and run a series using probably some of the worst cars you can, but they need to be BOP'd well. But we'll see. I've got a lot of ideas of things that I want to do in 2021 in terms of sim racing series, including another series of the British Boring Car Championship. And while we're on that news, actually, I will very just quickly, let me just sneak preview this little thing here. You ready? How about that? Coches Aburridos en España, which is boring cars in Spain, is a special event we have planned in the British Boring Car Championship for the 14th of March in 2021. We'll be having 2 drivers per car and a 3-hour endurance race around Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. And it should be a right barrel of laughs. But keep an eye on my social media channels and things for that, and you will see further announcements in future on that one. Again, though, should be a lot of fun. So the drivers now with 20 seconds left. Now, as this isn't a heat racing format, they will get chance to complete their laps here. One thing these drivers have had to get used to all season is the fact that we've used heat racing in iRacing, so as soon as the session finishes, that's it. You don't get time to complete that lap. So you have to just crack on with it and finish there and then. But yeah, the basically that endurance event that I've just shown you there, each car must have one driver in from a previous season of the British Boring Car Championship, and then they are welcome to bring in whoever they want as their co-driver. There cannot be two drivers from one team in one car that have previously competed in boring cars. So if you're lucky enough, get chatting to some of these boys and you could end up with a teammate. But yes, the 14th of March. And yes, it is 4 races this evening. And don't you worry, the Mew, I will not be doing it then. It's going to be on the 14th of March, so it should be long, long after that. But yeah, we have 4 races tonight. We're racing around here at Daytona. We then have a race around the oval, which is going to be hilarious. Then we go down the road to USA International Speedway and have a race on the dirt oval there, followed by the final race of the night as Jake Robertson and I think that was Steve Burke have a massive accident. The final race of the night is going to be a full-blown rallycross meeting with very short little heat races in the middle. Anyway, Calvin Dent then, pole position alongside Andy Fox with Jake Robertson and Josh Rayfield on row 2. We then have Carl Jacquelet alongside Dan McCauley. Michael Blake will line up with Matt Draycott on row 4. Then we have Fraser Smith and Jack Werrell with Steve Burke and Liam Silkstone. Luke Austin lines up alongside Ben Benioith with Niall Crowther and Ben Hicks on the back row of the grid. So then, 4 races tonight. Jack Ashton in the chat. Good to see you, mate. And the first race of the night in the British Boring Car Championship Christmas Beach Party from Daytona is away. Good launch by Calvin Dent. Looks like Jake Robertson didn't quite get a good one. Josh Rayfield has gone with him. Look at Matt Draycott there around the outside of Dan McCauley. There's contact. McCauley and Fraser Smith making contact. Draycott gets a little bit sideways. He's got Werrell down the inside of him as well. Looks like he gets away with it. Looks like Josh Rayfield is still in 4th place. Not getting past Jake Robertson. A little bit of movement in the middle there. Jack Werrell side by side with Fraser Smith. It didn't look like Steve Burke was going to take to the grid, but he does get away with it. Dan McCauley down the inside of Draycott. Hello. Last minute chuck up the inside from Dan there. A little bit of contact on the exit. There's more and more of it. Dan bounces off the wall. Not sure who didn't leave who room there. Draycott comes back on. Austin goes through. So too does Silkstone. Rough ride to start the night for newly crowned champion Draycott. Look at Bennyworth going past Liam Silkstone there on the right-hand side. Onto the brakes they go. Hicks down the inside of McCauley. But at the front, Calvin Dent leading the way. Andy Fox going with him. This track is the Daytona Infield, Mr. Ashton. It's a horrendous little circuit. But Calvin Dent in the chrome, what is now the Team Dry Mannix car, as it's known, leading the field. Rayfield hanging on to the top 5. A little bit further back, it's a bit lively as well. This is Liam Silkstone with Ben Bennyworth, Draycott, McCauley, all behind. Not quite sure what happened with Dan and Matt there, but there was a little bit of contact on the exit. Ooh, sorry about that. So McCauley gets down the inside. A little bit of a kiss. And yeah, I think Dan just doesn't leave the room on the exit there. Still alongside. He managed to carry on. Just in front, Jack Werrell and Fraser Smith are having a fight. Look at that for 2nd place as well. Andy Fox side by side with Jake Robertson. Onto the brakes they go. That's not looking friendly. Fraser Smith really hard on the brakes. Steve Burke chucks it around the outside of Werrell as well. Still nothing doing. And at the front, Foxy is now under pressure from Robertson and Jack Alette, who's sat in 4th place. Now, there are going to be points given over the course of the night as well, so we will have a Christmas champion, essentially. Draycott's got past Bennyworth a bit further back. Oh, there's cars off. No, it's Calvin Dent. Calvin Dent is off. There's contact as well. Luke Austin's around. He's been collected by Bennyworth. No, what has happened here? So let's see what happened to Calvin. Oh, Foxy. Foxy gives him a kiss. Puts him around, and then Luke's lost it. Oh, and he smacks into the side of Burke. Oh, and then Bennyworth just nails him. I wonder what happened there between Werrell and Smith as well, because those two made contact. Oh, Fraser's just late on the brakes. Oh, Austin hits Burke and then hits him again. People getting drilled all over the place here. Carl Jackalette leads the race, though, from Josh Rayfield and Jake Robertson. Then it's the two Might Just Fit cars behind. Fraser Smith and Jack Werrell having more contact. Not sure whether that was Jack sending it up the inside or Fraser blocking him off. One or the other. These two have both had their moments in the past 2 seasons of the British Boring Car Championship. Jack down the inside. Steve looking down the inside of Liam Silkstone now as well. And look at that at the front. There's more contact there again behind. This is for the lead. Now Carl Jackalette's down to 3rd. Robertson leads it from Rayfield, who is all over the back of him. He's glued to him at the moment. We've got the two Might Just Fit cars battling just behind this. Oh, calm it down, boys. Rayfield down the inside on the brakes. Oh, Jake tries to give him room. There's more contact again here. Come on, boys. Leave the handbags at home. Silkstone turns into the side of Burke. And again. Draycott's through as well. Where can Burke go now? The two Nodaphone cars in the middle with the blue banners. Jesus. Well, I suppose it was his birthday recently. Right then. Fraser, late on the brakes. Tries it around the outside. Nothing doing. It's Werrell and Smith just rattling off each other at the moment while everybody else watches just behind. Need to be careful around this sketchy bit of the circuit, boys. Oh. Oh. Oh, Werrell into the back of Smith, and again he's sideways. Look at this now. Silkstone down the inside. Calvin Denson on this. There's contact with Draycott. Contact with Burke. I'm not sure what the incident limit is. Apparently they're all having a laugh. That's good to hear, Jack, because I tell you what, tempers would be flared otherwise, as long as they're all laughing about it. Oh, there's more contact with Liam and Fraser Smith. Onto the brakes they go. So many of them 2x2. Draycott and Dent side by side. Now Burke is on the outside. It's 3 wide. I remember, I'm the director. I can click on him. No, Calvin. Calvin's around again. Oh, Calvin. Oh, mate. By the way, Josh Rayfield leads the race. Dan McCauley's sneaked up a few places here as well. Leads up to 9th. Josh has bottled it. Runs wide. Robertson down the inside now. Oh, God. I hope you're not lying, Jack. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lot to answer for at the end of the evening. Oh, in the background, it's kicked off. Ben Hicks, Matt Draycott's off. Who was that? Steve Burke around. Oh, boys. Come on. Let's have a look what happened here then. Draycott. There's a car off in front. It has to be Werrell, doesn't it? Draycott puts his nose in. Oh, and the gap just closes in front of him, and he puts Steve Burke and Ben Hicks off the circuit. The cars may be boring, the racing isn't. That's actually one of the taglines I used in the series trailer for Season 2. Look at this. Rayfield's just shoving Robertson around the first corner. Jackalette's trying to hang it around the outside. That's not working for him. No, the Rallycross. God, if they're like this on a normal road course, I can't imagine what the Rallycross is going to be like. It scares the life out of me, the thought of that. We've got a great battle for the lead, though. Josh down the inside of Jake. Nice late move. Jack, can you ask him if there's an incident limit? Because I'm really not... I can't remember if we set one or not. Each race has got its own different aspects. There's incident limits on some and then not on others. Dan McCauley and Jack Werrell are side by side. Jack concedes the place. But it's the closest battle at the front of the field. Josh runs a little bit wide through the left. Look at Foxy late on the brakes. Hello. Michael Blake down the inside of Carl Jackalette. Get out of the way, sunshine. This is hilarious. Hilarious stuff again from the British Boring Car Championship. I hope you're all enjoying the show. Don't forget, if you are, subscribe to Simracersworld TV. Don't forget to like the video as well. Please also do subscribe to Chaz Draycott Media too, if you can. I am going to be shattered by the end of this, but look at this battle for the lead now between Rayfield and Robertson. Two of the youngest drivers in the series and two of the strongest talents. No incident limit. Fantastic. Oh, God. One of the main complaints from drivers this season has been that the incident limit is too harsh. So it's nice to know what happens when you get rid of it. Carl Jacqueline gets a friendly reminder from Michael Blake, who then gets it back. Have that sunshine. I thought damage was off as well, but it's a good thing that's on. Good evening, Ian Fox, one of the longest term supporters of the British Boring Car Championship. Good to see you, mate. This is going to be interesting. Watch this. Yep. Michael Blake drilled out the way by Carl Jacqueline. Maybe in an unfair way there. That was a bit... That's like when you sort of just catch your brother a little bit and then he has to punch you 4 times as hard in response because he says, that's what you did to me. Maybe a bit unfair there from Carl Jacqueline, I'll admit. Now, Jake Robertson and Josh Rayfield. These two have been the stars of the show so far, haven't they? Fraser Smith is somehow up to 3rd place. He survived all the shenanigans. He's ahead of Andy Fox, then Liam Silkstone. Carl Jacqueline's been mugged by Dan McCauley now. They've got Jack Werrell behind. And we're only just over the halfway point. It's a 15-minute race, for God's sake. We're not even 9 minutes in. We do, of course, hope the boys are having a good laugh, though. That's what it's all about. These guys enjoying themselves. Having a bit of fun racing together. Ah, he says that, though, doesn't he, Jack? They all say it's not intended. Now look at this again. Hats off to Jake Robertson and Josh Rayfield. You know it was intentional. Even I called it, and I'm an idiot. Anyway, these two swapping places again and again. Beautiful stuff from the pair of them. Really hope this continues without any major contact towards the end of the race. Jake's using all of that curb there, isn't he? Fraser's trying to hold off Foxy, who's then got Silkstone just behind, and then Dan McCauley, who's got a front row seat with all this going on. He's back to where he started, is Dan McCauley, in 6th position. No complaints in any of the Discord chats yet, though, from the guys, so that's good. Oh, as it's kicked off in front. Oh, it was bound to. Dan McCauley gets loads of freebies. Fraser Smith ends up off the circuit. So it's Andy Fox. Liam Silkstone. Oh, Liam's just missed his braking point. Hits the pair of them. Fraser's around. Dan says, thank you very much, boys. After an incident early on, Dan McCauley's now on for a podium. These two are still fighting at the front. Liam sounds like a good crash. He does. Dan McCauley now trying to hold off Andy Fox for 3rd place. Just behind this, Jack Werrell's in there as well. He's side by side with Liam Silkstone. The slinky effect goes on there. Werrell tries to come back across the inside. 3 wide, boys. Oh, here we go. Hold on to your hats, everyone. There's going to be a big one. Liam's got nowhere to go. Werrell needs to leave him room. He's got past Jacqueline, and they managed to survive through there somehow. God knows how. 11 minutes in. Still these pair side by side once again. Still McCauley hanging on ahead of Andy Fox. Dan was pretty much down to the back of the field and is now back up to 3rd place. What an epic drive this has been. Further back as well, Calvin Dent's ahead of Niall Crowther. Now, Jack Werrell. Are you scared? I would be. Onto the brakes. Oh, he's gone a bit deep himself there, actually. Carl tries to get a good run onto the back of Liam Silkstone. Doesn't work. I think they've all realised now that they could actually race and get a result out of this. There are going to be points given over the course of the evening. For finishing positions. Oh no. Dan's been hit. Dan loses a place. What happened here? Oh, Matt Draycott and Calvin Dent are off the circuit apparently. Oh, Foxy's way too late on the brakes there. Down the inside of Dan. Werrell hits Foxy. Dan hits Foxy in response. Jackalette going to hit someone. Oh, Carl opened the line up, comes back onto the apex. They're 3 wide again, more contact. I'm surprised these cars can survive, man. Now he's going to move over on who here? Oh, there it is. Oh, how have they carried on? No, Liam. Dan's in the wall hard. Liam's in the wall hard as well. Dent and Draycott have both gone off the circuit at some point. Dan's back on. You can't do 3 wide through there, boys. You just can't. I'm stressed. I'm very, very stressed. Oh, lads. Oh, you've got Liam now with the smoke screen effect. Oh, look at that. Macaulay, 3 wide. Who was that going past him? Fraser Smith, Calvin Dent, Liam Silkstone's car's going nowhere. You've got Michael Blake, who's back up to 7th. Fraser Smith. He's going to push who? Look at that from Steve Burke on Dan Macaulay. Chucks it up the inside. Good Lord, they're going nowhere. Ben Bennyworth has been a good boy for Christmas this year. And he's let Jake Robertson and Josh Rayfield go. Now, look at this rabble. You've got Calvin Dent all over the back of Michael Blake. Calvin somehow gets that turned in and stopped. Oh, there's a bit of a touch. Oh, there's more mayhem behind. There's cars off. No, Ben Hicks into the side of Steve Burke. How do you do that, boys? Niall Crowther involved. So Liam Silkstone. Niall slows down for it, moves over to the right. There's contact with Ben Hicks, and the pair of them are drilling towards Steve Burke. Bang! Steve's not going to appreciate that with a direct drive wheel. Right then. Jake Robertson still holding on ahead of Josh Rayfield. Josh still trying his hardest to get through. These two are probably some of the only guys in this race that are actually having a serious race at the minute. It's a good thing there's an incident limit in the real British Boring Car Championship throughout the season, isn't it? Otherwise we'd have this all the time, and I would have a lot of very angry drivers coming to me after every race. Jackalette down the inside of Andy Fox as Jack Werrell holds him up a bit. Now, we're going to have one more lap to go then for these pair. We'll keep an eye on them. It's the Bordeaux machine against the Team Red Ring car of Josh Rayfield. Jake Robertson, 4-time race winner in the British Boring Car Championship. Josh Rayfield, 2 times winner. It is like iRacing rookies, isn't it? Foxy and Jackalette still close together again. And the laps aren't very long here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these pair. Who are very quickly going to finish this race off. The next session launches at 8 o'clock, so we've timed that nicely. Jake Robertson is going to take the first win of the night after an absolutely almighty battle with Josh Rayfield. Great stuff, boys. Beautiful stuff. Jack Werrell is somehow going to hold on to 3rd place ahead of Andy Fox and Carl Jackalette. Matt Draycott is going to manage a 6th place finish. There he goes across the line. And it's going to be Fraser Smith in 7th. Calvin Dent is going to be 8th. Michael Blake 9th. And Dan Macaulay is going to drag that car across the line in 10th position after that big hit earlier. Wow. Where do you start with that one? Well, Jake Robertson put on a beautiful show. Beautiful show indeed. We've got other drivers just crossing the line now. Luke Austin has crossed the line. Liam Silkstone, Niall Crowther. They're all done by the look of it. Very much done, and yeah, you're going to feel that in the morning. Liam's getting pushed over the line, is he? Yeah, I was going to say it's not giving me results, although that's it. Jake Robertson takes the win. And I won't lie, we're going to have to hurry this up. So there are your results from race 1, everybody. We are going to have to very quickly jump into the other session when it goes live in just a moment. But wow, what a way to start the evening. What a way to start it indeed. So, the next one's going to be on the oval. Do stay with us. We will be getting onto it in just a minute. But for now, I need to very quickly save this replay. And then we can crack on with getting into the next session. Suppose we could get in. Who had a lot of fun in that one? I'll tell you what. We need to. There we go. We'll drag him in from there. Calvin Dent joins me in the chat. Calvin, are you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here.
That seemed like mayhem, but I was told that you were all having quite a laugh with that. Is it?
It's a great laugh.
Yeah, because to be honest, we know from previous races in the championship when there is contact before, it's not easy to take it on the chin when it gets as competitive as it does. But it seems like a lot of you guys are just taking it all in and just enjoying yourselves already.
Yeah, I think that was just a bit of fun. The funny thing about it, this is a bit that makes me laugh, is everybody's still really apologetic when they hit someone. It's so, like, Foxy's still apologising at the end of the race for hitting me on, like what, lap 2?
Yeah.
Lap 3? And it was a good laugh. And obviously I got completely shafted in that race by absolutely everyone. But no, it was a good laugh. I think Niall hit me, and he pressed the clutch instead of the brake pedal.
Oh no! It's that sort of stuff you've got to love, isn't it? Absolutely love it.
Yeah, to be fair, after we've all been a bit serious at times throughout the season, to sort of do that is yeah, it was quality. That
it's letting out a bit of steam, isn't it? At this point, I think. Well,
yeah, it's annoying. It's my bloody first pole of the season, and it's a non-championship round. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, finally, I find my pace after the season's finished.
Yeah, you could have done that before, to be honest. Well, if I can chuck you back in, mate, I'll leave it to you to inform the rest of the boys that the session is now up and ready to be joined. So we'll catch you on the oval.
I want to make a bit.
Cheers. Oh, Calvin Dent there, having a real laugh in that one by the looks of it. So much going on. Just wondering who else we can talk to be honest. There was another driver that, as we said, maybe not the biggest fan of the contact near the end. Steve, are you there?
Evening.
Here he is. I'm surprised you've not been launched out the window after that contact near the end there, mate. Are you there, buddy? I don't think he's there. Still, that's one race of the 4 out of the way. So do stick with us here on Simracersworld TV and Chaz Draycott Media, and we'll get the next one underway in just a moment. Hopefully with plenty of entertaining results. Let's have a quick move around in the Discord so we can easily grab people in and have a chat with them. And someone who I know is always up for an interview, Andy Fox, the Fox himself. I've been told you're still apologising to people.
Never. I only ended up with 32x. There's nothing wrong with that. 28 of them weren't my fault. It was only the one where I hit Calvin.
Well, it certainly seems like people are letting their hair down at this point. Is that right?
It was hilarious, I'll be honest.
Oh, I'm glad it was, mate. I'm really glad it was.
Great, man.
Well, now we've got an oval to cope with. Do you think that this is going to be easy or very difficult in these cars?
I have absolutely no idea. Qualifying's going to be fun, I know that much.
Yes, qualifying's going to be very fun. And of course, we're on the old oval as well. We're not even on the
fancy bumpy one.
Yeah. So this should be a bit of a barrel, but yeah, as long as I've been told you guys are having a laugh in there, so it's lowering my stress knowing that you're all having fun rather than all being serious.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think I think it's fair to say nobody's taking it too seriously, as you can probably see from that first race.
Yeah, there were a few cents, but still, mega stuff, mate. Great to have you on board for this one, and I'll chuck you back in.
No probs. Catch you later.
There you go then, Andy Fox, a legend himself from Might Just Fit. So, Jet is on an oval, I hear you say. What are you doing, Chaz? Yes, Jet is on an oval, and we're on the old Daytona as well, the really bumpy one. So this is not going to be easy for these guys at all. They're going to have a lot of fun with this one, I reckon. We're going to see a lot of different strategies going on here as well. So keep an eye out for people trying to make the most of this. We're going to go on TV1 just so we can try and catch a bit more of the action from a wider angle here at Daytona. Oh, Ian, it would be great to have you. It would be great to have you in the next Christmas special. It really would. And I'm pleased to be joined by my good mate Dan McCauley. Dan, you got involved in pretty much everything you could in that one, but I imagine you were laughing your head off for all of it.
I definitely got my money's worth out of this car. Anyone know a good panel beater?
Well, to be honest, there's so many Volkswagen parts specialists in the world that I think you'd be spoilt for choice after that. But I'm surprised the car's survived, to be honest, as Beth just scared the absolute daylights out of me, hanging in the office door. Oh my God, sorry. There was just this face in the darkness.
Can't imagine that would be quite frightening. Don't tell her I said that.
It's not like it's been broadcast live on YouTube or anything. But
that's fine.
In all fairness, though, I was surprised the car survived, although you seemed to lose a little bit of speed at the end there. Were you getting affected by it?
Mine didn't.
No?
My steering wheel was literally like, I'm not very good at maths, but 90 degrees and then another 45.
Flipping heck. So,
and, it didn't want to go down a straight very well. It didn't want to go around the corner very well. But it went crashing into people.
Well, I was going to say quite a lot of the guys out there seem to like crashing into people, but you know, it's part of the event, it's part of the fun. Hopefully, I'm going to touch wood now, but hopefully no major cautions in this one to take up time in the race, because these cars don't really go very quick. I think the pace lap's probably going to be quicker than a normal lap round here, to be honest, in these things.
Yeah, but I might not be causing cautions because I can't get in the session.
Oh, what? That's very odd.
Just says session scheduled from. Oh no, I meant just being stupid. Don't worry.
Well, that's good. I worried then.
But,
for a minute.
Are we going to be able to keep up with the pace car? Is one of my questions.
Probably not. It depends if it's the Corvette or the truck. I think I said it as the truck, but we'll have to see.
We might have a chance then, because obviously NASCAR's do 200 mile an hour. The Jetta barely does 100, so. Just,
it'll be like a lap of the Nordschleife, just flat out.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, we've got Jake causing trouble. He's smacking into
I'm not
Jackalette.
surprised.
Oh, and Bennyworth's upside down in the air.
Don't give him the biscuit tin anyway, calm down a little bit.
Oh, well, good luck in this one, mate. I hope it goes smoothly. I'll chuck you down to a different channel at least for now, and then yeah, hopefully we'll catch up with you a little bit later, mate.
Not a problem. Catch you in a bit.
Oh, well, good to have Dan McCauley on board for this one again as well. Dan raced in a couple of rounds of the British Boring Car Championship this season for Team Jane Fonda. Even took a race win at Snetterton as well. So we do have race winners among us. We do have the car numbers correct now by the look of it. So I'm going to hopefully get them on screen for you. Although we want the gap. We want the... See if we can... Oh. Wonderful. We have double gaps now. How good am I at this SDK stuff, eh? I'm rubbish. Oh. There you go. You've got car numbers now. What more do you want? So, identical times for Jack Querrell and Jake Robertson at the moment at the top of the standings. I'm honestly, I'm boiling. I'm stressed. But I'm glad the guys are enjoying it and having a laugh out of it. It has been a real joy to broadcast the British Boring Car Championship for these 2 seasons, and I do want to thank everybody that has supported the championship. Of course, David Addison as well, who's done a couple of rounds with us here, and he has really been getting involved with it as well. He thought the world was definitely broken when I told him that my brother had won the British Boring Car Championship's 2nd season, but we are very grateful to have had him on. It was a real pleasure, and from my sort of career aspect, a real honour to be able to commentate with him as well. Now, Luke Austin is an oval expert. You heard it here first. So, Jack Ashton there calling the shots on what's going to go on. Now, this sort of race is anybody's guess. If you can play the strategy right, anyone could do well here. I think we're going to see a very, very interesting one. You've just got to play the strategy, play it safe, make sure you move up and down your lines at the right time. And you could be on to an absolute corker. 30 seconds left before qualifying. These cars have 10 minutes of qualifying, and trust me, they're going to need it. 215 kilometres an hour in the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup car. On board here with Niall Crowther chasing down Josh Rayfield. Look at this beautiful stuff. And yes, that is meant to say A4 Quattro, but instead it says B5 Triple. As practice is now over. So these guys will disappear any second. And you'll probably see some tyre smoke or something continue anyway. There you go. Now qualifying will get underway. Let's see who is first out. Fraser Smith once again. He must have a fast PC. He's usually the first guy to go out on track. Niall Crowther just in front. Now I believe we actually have 2 number 10s tonight, because I didn't change Niall's number back to 23 on his car, because I'm an idiot. So we've got Niall Crowther, who is actually number 23. He's wearing the number 10, and then you've got Andy Fox just behind, who's also number 10. So apologies, boys. So the numbers for those that are inside the top 10 are based on their finishing position in the previous season. So Matt Draycott obviously winning the championship. He's car number 1. Steve Burke number 5, and so on. Now, what are people going to do here in terms of strategy with this qualifying? Because you want to be the one in the slipstream, not the one giving the slipstream. But I think these guys have got the right idea. You just need to crack on with it. You just need to get on with it. Now, I can hear Carl Jacquelet is alongside Steve Burke. He's just there below him. Matt Draycott's now in the middle of Niall Crowther and Andy Fox. We're going to need some really good communication from these guys during this. Don't forget, if they make contact and get even a 0x in this qualifying session, it will invalidate their lap time. So they need to be very careful indeed now. So they're on to hot laps now. They're all doing proper hot laps. Fraser Smith is trying to get out of the way, so he's not giving any of these boys slipstream. Steve Burke is in the middle of Niall Crowther and Andy Fox. Fraser's gone up high, so Matt Draycott's going to go to the front. But is he getting a 0x off Carl? There's contact there with Foxy and Steve Burke. Steve and Fraser look like they're almost in identical cars. Well, other than the car number, they are. You've then got Jake Robertson on there as well. Yeah, 0x does invalidate lap times, even if you hit a wall. 0x is, I've been told anyway, invalidate lap times. Oh, as Draycott gets hit by Jacquelet. And that's why you need to be careful about moving while you're all stuck close together. That from Fraser Smith, really making sure Carl stays down low. As there's contact between Crowther and Foxy. They're probably just going to be invalidating each other's lap times now, just to say, oh, stuff you. Fraser Smith, the only one that does a valid lap. Jake Robertson, a 106.8, 106.5 from Ben Hicks. Ben Hicks, newcomer tonight in one of the gift-wrapped cars. There he is. It is like a terrible Red Arrows formation, isn't it? Josh Rayfield is at the front of this. Matt Draycott's hanging up round the outside. Ben Bennyworth's trying to get a run as well. We've only got 4 times on the board. Luke Austin's only 6,000ths off Ben Hicks. What's going on up here? Foxy's up high, trying to chase Steve Burke. Don't forget, this is only quali. Steve stayed up high now. I think he's going to wait for some of these guys to go through, then get the slipstream. Rush hour on the M6. It is, isn't it? It's always that bloke in like the Fleet Vauxhall Insignia that's like the lowest spec with the little wheels. That's the Ecotech one. He's always waiting for you to do 110 down the fast lane. As where has Foxy gone? Foxy's blinking in and out a lot there. Jake Robertson back to the top, 106.5. There is Foxy. Jacquelet moving around there across to Jake Robertson. Foxy's still on the outside. You can see just the smoke patterns. That's how bad a Red Arrows formation is. There he is. There he goes. It's going to turn into a panto with people shouting he's behind you. Oh, this is getting sketchy now, boys. Steve into the middle line. Jake's managed to get to the front in this as well. Is he going to now filter? He does filter in front of Fraser Smith. Oh, no, boys. Oh, and Foxy gets caught up in it big time as well. Jackalette keeps his foot in and obviously gets involved. Oh, it's a big hit. He manages to get missed by the rest of the red arrows coming through. Rayfield and Draycott making a bit of contact there as well. Luke Austin, that's going to get dodgy. Ben Hicks is into Rayfield. Oh, Bennyworth's doing a grind on the wall. Oh, he's not going to get a combo for that one. Draycott and Austin cross the line. Flipping out. This is only qualifying. Good God. Draycott 107.4 puts him 7th. So this was before. Oh. So what happened? Because oh, Niall just came down a little bit too much on Steve. It's this massive accident. Jackalette just keeps his foot in, he don't care. And then the Ben Bennyworth incident, as unfortunate as it was very funny. There you go, up the wall. Then just mayhem. Yeah, there must be a speed awareness course based on this somewhere. So who's actually still driving? Dan McCauley's 10th at the moment. He's with Jack Werrell. Hope nobody's in a motion rig. Well, Steve Burke is. You won't have enjoyed that one. Steve Burke's on a direct drive in VR with a motion rig, so all of the senses going on there. Steve. Ben Hicks is second by 9 thousandths. 16 thousandths cover the top 3. What can Dan McCauley do about keeping this speed up behind Jack? Now he's trying to get a good run off here. Jack's peeled out of the way. We go on board with Dan. He's sticking to the high line here. Or has he clipped the wall a little bit? 180 Ks. Not quite sure what he's trying there. It looks like he's trying something. Rayfield's on his own a little bit. If we show the track map, let's just see who is where. So we've got the 96 of Ben Bennyworth chasing. That is Jack Werrell. Now this is the pack. You got Andy Fox on the outside, Matt Draycott and Fraser Smith on the inside, Jay Robinson in the middle. Austin goes fastest, 106.4. Very good time. Austin's happy with that. So now these three stays 3 wide around turns 1 and 2. Although let's just face it, you Americans, it's only one corner. Oh, bit of moving about. It's bumpy up there. It does look so slow, doesn't it? Especially on board as well. If we go on board with Andy Fox, you got so much time to think about everything. Normally NASCARs do over 300 Ks down here, and they do 214 flat out. Luckily it's a timed race and I can't overdo it on laps. Oh. Fraser and Foxy side by side. Just glued to the back of Draycott now. He's going to go high, surely. I'm not sure if the 0x does invalidate your lap. I really hope it doesn't. Any improvements from any of those guys? Fox goes up to 11th. Now in front, there's Werrell getting out of the way of Crowther and Jackalette. I think they've got Dan McCauley just in front as well. Minute and a half left to go. So as long as you get round in the next 30 seconds, you're alright. Crowther hits the wall. Although if you get round in the next minute and a half, you'll at least get time to finish your lap that you're currently on. Crowther through the middle with Jackalette and McCauley either side. Draycott side by side with Fraser Smith now. Round 3 and 4. I'm intrigued to see how they all do in a race. I'm sure there's going to be a massive accident. Fraser needs to give a little bit more room than that. There are going to be some epic crashes in the race, but my concern is, Ian, there's only going to be one epic crash in the race, and it's going to take a lot of them out, and that's going to be it. But fingers crossed if they get the fast repairs sorted, they'll be alright. Across the line go these three, and the cars in front as well, of course. Jacqueline, Crowther, Macaulay. Smith goes 6th, Fox 7th, Draycott 8th. How many upside down cars are we going to see? Place your bets. Well, there's 16 in the session, although Liam Silkstone, Calvin Dent, Michael Blake haven't taken to the circuit yet. I don't think they're going to qualify. I think we're going to see 15, provided that those boys take part in the race. Fraser does not want to let Draycott get any higher up the racetrack, does he? Ben Bennyworth is off in the distance. He's going to be the first one to cross the line, which is now going to be the end of the session, so these guys need these laps to count. Draycott and Smith are so close to an accident here. So Ben Bennyworth is going to cross the line. It's just comical, isn't it? Just behind him, Dan Macaulay, side by side with Niall Crowther. There are full course yellows, yeah, it's automatic by iRacing. Anyone move up the order. Wow, Draycott goes top, Fox goes 2nd, Smith goes 4th, Werrell 7th, Macaulay 9th. Look at that for a shift around, right at the death. Matt Draycott, car 1, P1. Wow. That was a very big change up in the order, wasn't it? Flipping heck, as Robertson puts Smith in the wall, Draycott's off him as well. Foxy gets caught. Oh, that was a big hit for Andy Fox. And there you go. There goes. Oh, God help me. What am I going to do with these lot? Draycott on pole then. Andy Fox 2nd. Luke Austin 3rd with Fraser Smith in 4th, with Jake Robertson and Ben Hicks on row 3. Then it's Jack Werrell and Ben Bennyworth, Dan Macaulay and Steve Burke on row 5. We then have Josh Rayfield alongside his ex-teammate Carl Jacqueline, with Niall Crowther alongside Michael Blake. Calvin Dent and Liam Silkstone then take up this last row on the grid. And breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Right, so it's piling everybody's names up. Thank you, SDK. We'll just give you a little bit of a reload, shall we? There you go. Love it. And we do have we have the iRacing Chevrolet Silverado pace truck. Speedy Kiwi, good to see you. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you're well. Hope everybody's well. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and are looking forward to a very, very welcoming new year. I could go on and on with all the, oh, we're finally out of 2020, but that's going to get boring very quickly, let me tell you that for free. So let's just enjoy the moment, shall we? In the British Boring Car Championship, we're just waiting for Liam Silkstone to take to the grid, but I'm not sure he will. He's probably nipped to the pub. This is Calvin Dent in what is probably one of the strangest sights you're going to see in sim racing for a little bit. It's 15 Volkswagen Jettas ready to take to Daytona, which will be a very, very odd one indeed. I just love the silence. Let's just see if we can, let's just go on board very quickly. We'll see if we can just turn up the diesel rattle. Wait there. Yeah, very dreary drone of diesel. The pace car will probably get away from the field, yes. It will probably run way away from Matt Draycott, who's on pole. Edward May finally got free time on a Monday to tune in live. Well, Ed, this is the point where I tell you that the British Boring Car Championship has never been on a Monday. Dan Macaulay's just smacked into the back of Jack Werrell. 20 incident point limit. Oh, heck. Well, Dan and Jack have just found out about that then, with 4 each before the race gets underway. So it's Matt Draycott, pole position. Andy Fox lines up alongside him. Luke Austin, who's been tipped as an expert, will be 3rd. Fraser Smith is going to be 4th, with Jake Robertson 5th. Ben Hicks in 6th place, with Jack Werrell in 7th. Then it's Ben Bennyworth in 8th. Dan Macaulay in 9th position. Josh Rayfield is not 10th. Steve Burke is 10th. Josh Rayfield is 11th, with Carl Jacqueline in 12th, even though it has moved around a bit because they're on the warm-up lap, so stuff them. Now, is this not the most beautiful sight you've ever seen in sim racing? Is it not? Look at it. They're probably flat out trying to keep up with this truck as Werrell decides to show everybody that his steering wheel works. Now, it's good to see you, Edward. Or Ed, sorry, mate. Great to have you on board. Jake Robertson also showing that he can use the apron. I'm very, very impressed that the Jetters can keep up with this truck. Hopefully, no cautions, though. Hopefully, these boys all behave themselves. But we've got 15 minutes of racing here from Daytona. And Matt Draycott, I think for the first time on iRacing, is going to lead the start on an oval from pole position. And he's gone. He's gone for it. Absolutely gone for it. Luke Austin and Jake Robertson have gone with him. Calvin Dent's trying to get a run through at the back of the pack. Look at him. Cheeky beggar. Through the middle he goes. Now, who's going to behave themselves? Steve Burke is up there as well. There's Liam Silkstone. He's back from the pub. But we're underway for the second race of the evening. Calvin Dent's had a gorgeous start. He's gained 5 spots already. Certainly made that run-up work. Now, at the front, Luke Austin's up to second. Jake Robertson is up to third. Andy Fox has lost 3 spots. He's on the outside line. They need to be very careful moving around. There's a lot of snaking already. Come on, boys. Oh, Robertson's around in front of the field. Some of them keep their foot in at full chat, and there's already a yellow. Well, where's Carl Jackalette going? There's a yellow, mate. Calm it. Oh, Jake Robertson, the first victim. So, Werrell just pushes him. Just pushes Smith. Macaulay gets a bit of contact. Dent gets it as well. If you look here, Jack's got his foot down, gives them a shove. There's a bit of snaking going on. I don't really think there was much that Jack could have done there. Steve Burke somehow avoids that. I want to just... Can we just go on board with Steve Burke? So you can see a bit of snaking going on in front. You see Robertson get tipped there. Suddenly comes back on. Steve goes, oh, sugar, where's he going? Quick, go left. That is a big brown pants moment there for Steve Burke. I don't think Jackalette realised there was a yellow flag because he goes flying past everybody. Oh, there will not be much racing, will there? There will not be much racing at all. So, under yellow catching up to the pace truck. Now this will be interesting. Let's see how they all slow down. Who's looking forward? Who's paying attention? Oh dear. So Jake Robertson is our first victim of the evening, unfortunately. He won the first race, and now he's not at the back because Liam Silkstone is a lap down on him. But Draycott still leads it then. Luke Austin second, Fraser Smith up to third. Biggest mover, Calvin Dent, 7 places gained. And what we're going to do is just quickly go back and have a look at Calvin Dent's start. And off he goes. Look at that. He just judged it to perfection. Got a nice little run through there. Now Steve Burke comes down a little bit here. You would have been worried about Steve maybe closing that bottom line off. As he goes back up, Calvin just finds the gap. Stays on the low line. It's a really good jump on it. Now you'll see in front here, Calvin just gradually ekes his way up. Now Jack gets a mega run, the blue car on the front left there, gets a mega run off 1 and 2, and then the field starts snaking a little bit. There's just that concertina effect, and before you know it, you'll just see Robertson clip Macaulay there, and Dent gets through it. Great survival. Now the lights are out. Oh no, they're not. We've got another one after this. How do you call the pace truck in? You might see me do it live, but I can't remember how you bring the pace truck in this time round. But still, the guys have got a bit of time to crack on with that. So we're 4 minutes in, nearly a third of the way. Hopefully, no more no more cautions. But it's the British Boring Car Championship. What can you expect? Now, if Luke Austin goes on to win this, then Jack Ashton will be known as Mystic Meg going forward. what's going on further back. So Dan McCauley, Jake Robertson, it seems, has pitted. He has. He's had the car repaired. Dan McCauley has been in for 3.6 seconds. 2 laps still green. Oh, flipping heck. I think the lights have just gone out on the pace truck. They have. So this will be 1 to green now. They now go 2 by 2. They can obey those orders. They know what they're doing there. But they just need to avoid making contact with one another and causing another snake like that. So as we look back, that's one of the most unnatural shots I think you'll see in sim racing. 4 racing laps in total, Ian, yeah. So you've got 15 Volkswagen Jetta TDI Cup cars painted as British Touring Car Championship replicas around Daytona. Very interesting concept, isn't it? Matt Draycott and Steve Burke there. Actually, sorry, that's Fraser Smith. Just weaving nicely there. In the Nodaphone car, number 67. Fraser, of course, raced in Season 1 of the British Touring Car Championship, taking over from Jack Werrell mid-season to be teammates with Tom Jacobs. Fraser went on to score a number of pole positions, but never got a race win. But he did get some very strong results with his teammate as well. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Something needs to be done. There we go, and we're back. Jake Robertson had been given a penalty for some reason, so I'll just have to get rid of it for him, keep him in the race. So, take 2 in the British Touring Car Championship Christmas Beach Party, and we're away. It's very anticlimactic. It's just a drone of miserable cars. So Draycott at the front. Austin's trying to make that high line work. He's got Fraser Smith going with him and Jack Werrell on that bottom line as well. They need to be careful about contact. Look at Josh Rayfield up there making it 3 wide. He slots down in front of Steve Burke now. Is he going to go high again? Steve Burke's deciding whether he goes with him or not. Calvin Dent needs to make his mind up as well. A little bit of a wobble from Steve Burke there in the middle of the pack. Oh, and there's that a blink in and out from Andy Fox. It is. Hopefully no shimmying around this time. They've learned their lesson. They know that contact is not a good thing. Say that, Fraser Smith is glued to the back of Draycott. We've got 3 wide then. 3 by 3 by 3 at Daytona in the Jettas. This is not ideal. They need to all be very careful. Dent on the back of Austin. That's very close indeed. Jack Alette gives him a bit of a bump. Now Michael Blake's in the middle. He's got Rayfield to his right. Foxy to his left. Steve Burke's trying to push Rayfield on that top line, but it's not worked for them this time round. Let's go on chopper cam, see what mayhem unfolds. Oh, Austin's to the lead now, but he's just wiggling around on the front of Dent's car. These things do warble from left to right. Good God. Rayfield and Blake very close together on the right-hand side of your shot. Austin now closing that line down. Dent's gone with him a bit. There's a bit of movement going on between the two. Excellent stuff so far. I'm going to jinx it. That looks phenomenal, doesn't it? Look at that. Oh, I'm so pleased that I did this all those months ago. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Look at them all now. So now you've got Michael Blake going up high. There's a bit of a wiggle going on here between Luke Austin and Calvin Dent. I think he's trying to get away with it. He's just trying to get him off the scent, I think. But they're still pushing. Draycott ahead of Smith. I don't think they've got enough overspeed like you would have in NASCAR to actually get something done. Here we go, 3 and 4. You ready for a crash? Who's going to cause it? Place your bets. Place your bets. Bets are in. Jack Alette moves up on Blake. Blake comes back down. Flipping heck, Carl. It's like he's driving on a keyboard. Full lock to the right, Carl. I can hear contact, but it's just straight on. Straight. Luke Austin and Calvin Dent give each other cardiac arrest on a silver plate. Matthew Crisp in the chat. Good to see you. The slowest oval race is definitely the most entertaining so far. There's 2 more to come, though. We've got a dirt oval after this. Wait till you see that rubbish. Calvin Dent is all over the back of Luke Austin, but it's just not paying off here. It's very much a stalemate here. Now, what does Fraser Smith do? Will we see Fraser Smith go up high to the right of Draycott? He needs to be careful of making contact. Dent has slowed up. It's getting a bit condensed in the middle. Oh, there's contact, Dent. Oh, Dent is into Crowther. Austin's around as well. That's a massive... Oh, good Lord. Oh, I should remain professional, but that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Ben Bennyworth is going for the Rallycross award. Oh, God. Right. Time to pick this apart. So what happened? Oh, it's Jackalette. Carl! Damn it. God damn it, Carl. Well, it looked like it was originally. I think Jake nearly got away with that as well. Let's pick this apart. Slow-mo. So you've got Dent on the right. Austin's up there as well. Now, Carl's going down to the left, and he turns right, but it's a really aggressive move over to the right. Turns Dent. He goes into Austin, then into Werrell, sorry, not Crowther. Foxy goes with him. Rayfield and Blake go to the right, but then they're going to make contact with Austin. Steve Burke hits him. Austin gets punched into the air. Crowther's gone left, hits Dent again. Bennyworth gets into Burke. Then you've got Carl and Werrell into the wall. Blake smashes into Werrell. Then Ben Hicks doesn't give one, smacks into him. Silkstone hits him. Now look at Robertson on the left. He's got away with that until Michael Blake's car just misses him, and then Silkstone drills him in the right rear corner. Bounces off him again, and, well, more mayhem ensues. Let's go on board with Jake Robertson and see just how close he got to avoiding this. He nearly did, and then bang, there it is. Oh, Jake, that was insane. Let's just watch this again. Let's go on the nose cam of Jake Robertson. Look at that, he's free. No. Oh, good God. Absolute hilarity. Let's watch the whole thing again. Let's keep an eye on Luke Austin. Oh my God. Dan, you know what? Dan McCauley, actually. I think Dan McCauley survived that. He did. He's up to third. So let's just go on with Dan McCauley. That's the right pace to be at the back of the pack. There's the contact between Jackalette and Dan. The whole field spreads out. Dan's on the anchors. He just... Dan gets a brilliant view of it, and when the smoke's cleared, off I go. Cheers, boys. Well, there's one more that we need to look back from. And that, not that, Fraser Smith. There's the contact, and, well, see you in a bit, boys. Oh, good Lord. Right then. So, depending on what happens here when the yellow came out, is how quickly these guys will get sorted into their positions. But that, honestly, I've got tears. That was one of the funniest accidents I've seen in ages. Now, Jake Robertson is saying that he's got another black flag for some reason. Let me just ask, why do you keep getting them? Shut up. No, a hell of a lot of fun already, though. Wow. So Matt Draycott and Fraser Smith. I'll be laughing all the way to the bank. Matt reckons he's won, he says. Interesting. 2 minutes to go. Now we'll go on board with Draycott because watch the lights on top of that truck that aren't very clear to see. There you go. That is definitely an iRacing not top 10 moment, isn't it? Should we submit that? It's got both my logo and the Simracersworld TV logo in the top right, so there you go. We can go with that. Although iRacing love to do that thing where they take everyone's custom liveries off and they're like, oh, you're not allowed to use them. I wonder what's going on in the chat. Nothing. Nobody saying anything at the moment. So, I don't think we're going to... This is going to be the end of it. That's it, Ed. You've got to do it. I've seen a lot of oval racing broadcasts recently where there'll be an incident and then a yellow flag, and then they just won't look at the incident. They'll just look at cars doing nothing for a bit. But yes, we will. I'll send that into the iRacing Not Top 10. I used to race for Drew Adamson's team anyway, and I think he's in charge of some of it. Or at least he's a good contact to have to send that to anyway. So I don't think we're going to get a green-white checker. I think we're just going to get, this is going to be it. The race is unfortunately going to finish under yellow. We've had 3 laps in total. We had the first lap where the incident happened, so that wasn't even a full lap. Then we had the green flag lap, we had a full one, and then it happened the second time round. Oh, there's even contact on the safety car between Dan and Fraser. Come on, boys. You can see there at the back, that's Michael Blake and Steve Burke just trying to tag on. Oh yeah, no, wait till you see the dirt oval, it's going to be mad. Oh, Fraser, what are you doing? Well, he didn't leave room there for Dan. And the race is actually underway. It's not finished here. Dan's been held up. Foxy and Blake are together. Come on, boys, just make it round one lap. Luke Austin out of the pits. Look at Calvin Dent. Go on, Calvin, lad. He's on a mish. See in a bit, he says. Oh, God, look at this. Carl Jacquelette's in the thick of it again. What's going to go on here? I'm not sure what penalties or rules are going to get applied afterwards. Yeah, that incident between Dan and Fraser, I'm not sure there. We will be analysing the incidents again just after this because we've got loads of time left. The next session goes up at 9 o'clock and it's 22. But Calvin Dent leads the way then with just 1 corner to go. Oh, there's a big hit from Jake on the back of Blake. Please don't cause a yellow, boys, because it might not mean the race finishes. But at the front, Calvin Dent has got Draycott round the outside. Spotter let you down, Fraser. You're going to be on the high line. Absolute rubbish. Look at this from Draycott. He's got the run out the final corner. Is he going to steal it from Calvin? Is Calvin going to just nerf him on the grass? I would love to see it. We'd all love to see it. But Draycott wins at Daytona. Not that any of the other races aren't at Daytona, other than USA International. And, yep. Oh. Foxy and Jake. Oh, he misses Werrell. Draycott gets a punt from his teammate. And there you go. Fantastic. So let's have a look at the green flag then. So this is what happened to Fraser and Dan. You can blame your spotter all you want, Fraser, but you're going to be on the high line, mate. Come on, mate. You can't blame that on your spotter. You need to put that cone back as well, Fraser, when you go back past. Well, look at... How did... To be fair, I did wonder how Calvin did this. Let's have a look. I did think, where is he? Where is he? Look at this from Calvin. Right, restart, boys. Let's go. You'll see Fraser get binned. There he is. See in a bit. That was phenomenal from Calvin. Look at the guts on that. Go on. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Oh, that was so entertaining. Let's just have a look back at that incident, though, that caused the yellow flag once again, shall we? One more time. It's one of the most entertaining incidents you will ever see on iRacing. Just listen to it. Flipping heck. And just because I love you all, you can get one more in slow-mo. There you go. Oh, well. If there's an image to sum up the evening, that's the one. Oh, here's your race results then. Matt Draycott wins from Calvin Dent. Josh Rayfield, 2 Team Red Ring cars on the podium. Dan McCauley ends up 4th. There he is, just surviving in the bottom left of your shot. Andy Fox 5th, ahead of Jake Robertson and Carl Jacquelette, with Michael Blake in 8th. Niall Crowther 10th and Niall Crowther 9th, Steve Burke 10th. Ben Bennyworth 11th, with Jack Werrell in 12th. Liam Silkstone 13th. Fraser Smith 14th. Luke Austin 2 laps down. And then Ben Hicks rounds out your top 16. Ian Fox saying he's laughing out loud that much the wife's had to ask what he's watching. It is honestly one of the greatest sounds. We're going to check it from some more cameras. Oh god. There you go. The British Boring Cars Championships in town, everybody. I feel so sorry for Jake in this one, because honestly, well, if you didn't see it before, just watch Jake here, the green and gold car at the bottom of your shot. He gets on the brakes. Beautiful job in avoiding it. And then, oh, cheers replay. Fantastic. That's just typical, isn't it? Typical iRacing replays. Absolute sods. Wow. Well, it's time for a break though, guys. There will be about 15 minutes until the... yeah, about 15 minutes until we have just another session to go. So if you just bear with me, we will be back very, very shortly. Thank you for your patience, everybody. We do not... Joachim Branson, good to see you in the chat, mate. We do not have the new damage medal on these cars now. They are very, very old indeed. But, guys, if you just bear with me, about 15 minutes, we'll have the next session up and ready to go, and we'll be back with you very shortly, because we've got to travel and drag these cars down the state of Florida to USA International Speedway, where we'll be taking on a dirt oval. So we'll be back with you in just a few, although apparently, never mind. I've been told the session is actually... Oh, hello. I've been told, actually, the session will go live before that. So, we could have this a lot sooner than expected, actually. So please do bear with me. And I'll tell you what, actually, we do have... Is he still about? No, he's not, actually. Oh, Jake says his internet's died. Apologies, guys. Just got a billion and one things going on screen at once here. And we'll see when he comes in. I think we're going to be joined by Dan McCauley in just a moment. He's going to walk us through how he survived in that the big one there. Dan, that was, I mean, for one, it was hilarious from the TV point of view, but you must have been laughing your nads off driving through that.
It wasn't really a laugh, it was more of a Jeremy Clarkson smug face. sort of look to the camera and smile as you drive through everyone's hopes and dreams being shattered of being the Daytona champion.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how much of it you caught at the time, but I mean, Jake Robertson right in front of you as he got through that. He was so close to making it through, and then Liam Silkstone's stray car drilled him.
I mean, I kind of seen it all unfold when all of a sudden there's a Nescafe advert planted, well, whatever you've called it, planted halfway across the track in front of me, and that's when it's like, right, hold on, there might be a bit of a crash coming here. And then, yeah, you just hear bang, 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 diesel noises, and lots of cars everywhere.
Yeah, well, it just shows you, I mean, we've seen it before, that these cars move around a lot in a straight line, they move around a lot on the brakes, they just generally wobble around. But
yeah, and some series coordinator thought it'd be a good idea to put it at the bumpiest oval there's ever been, with a bunch of people that never drive ovals and can barely keep it in a straight line anyway.
Exactly, it's all the entertainment, isn't it? We got 3 laps out of it anyway. What more could you want? Now, sorry,
I'd love to see you make a cookbook.
Trust me, it would be pretty.
Recipes for Disaster by Chaz Draycott.
I think we might have to do that.
Need it. That would be quite good.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do it. Maybe you should do a stream like what you did with the ironing.
Yeah.
Chaz writes a cookbook. ... badly.
Yeah, I think we can go with that. Now we're just going to switch to the new view for these viewers to have a look at, because we're at USA International Speedway on dirt. Now, this is unorthodox, isn't it?
That's one way of describing it.
Well, we'll chuck you back in so you can get some practice in, mate. Trust me, you're going to need it.
I think I'm going to need it. I've done a few laps earlier, and it'd probably be quicker in reverse, I'm not going to lie. The tractor diesel counterpart of this might be a little bit quicker. Can I drive the pace truck? Is that an option?
I wish it was. It would be hilarious to do a manual fast-paced truck in this, but this is the point of the evening where some of these guys should have really practiced, isn't it now? And I know that some of us have got laps in, so... Well, I'll say some of us as if I'm going to be driving, but definitely not. But, yeah, enjoy it, mate.
This is going to break some hearts. It's going to be brilliant.
We'll catch you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
So, Dan's saying it how it is. And yes, you are seeing this right. We have the Volkswagen Jetters of the British Boring Car Championship on a dirt oval. Now, Ben Bennyworth said to me that he had been putting some practice in, so I think he... Liam Suckstone doing what we all know we should. Now, Ben has said that he's put some laps in this, so he knows what to expect here. I'm just trying to find a camera that works. We've got TV3, actually. That works quite nicely. As there's Calvin Dent going around the outside. Wow, that was close. Now, there's an issue with Sky Broadband right now, unfortunately. And they've just lost a lot of stuff. And a lot of people. And yes, wall riding is the technique. It is the technique. As there's Ben Bennyworth going past Jacqueline. Now, hopefully, I really do hope that these guys... Who's that? I do hope these guys don't take to actually wall riding in the entire race. I hope they try and use it normally. I think I might have to put a... Oh, there he goes. Oh, God. So, third race of the night then. Here at USA International Speedway. Get ready to hear some contact noises. Because there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of second-hand, right-hand doors available for Volkswagen Jetters. Some horrible noises going on. I'm not sure if you lot can hear that. I'm not quite sure what it is. We'll go on board with Ben Hicks. This is how it looks when you're wall riding at USA International. Oh, I think it's just some of the stones being kicked up under the car. Oh, heck. Oh, heck. Oh, heck. Well, practice is going well, isn't it? Let's have a look at the time. Steve Burke fastest at the moment. Go on, lad. Steve flying currently. Right, now I've sincerely asked for there to be no wall riding. Oh, is this... There's cars all over the place. Calvin Dent's in the air. Apologies, everyone. I'm just trying to get these guys under control in the background. What we'll do is we'll risk this. We'll risk this very quickly, boys. Please do not say a word or swear. I'm just want to get the message across. Please, no wall riding in qualifying on the race, please. I know it's all well and fun, and yes, it's hilarious. However, live from the booth, please do not wall ride in the race, gents. I don't want to kill the buzz, but it will kill the race.
It's 10 seconds a lap quicker.
It's 10 seconds a lap quicker. Well, there you go then.
It's cheating.
Exactly, Carl. That's the stuff I like to hear. Anyway, boys, enjoy it, and we'll speak to you later.
Definitely.
Oh, trying to keep them under control. Now, I took a risk there on behalf of myself and Simracersworld TV. So, I'm sorry, Ian. Love you really. I won't get us banned. Now, look at this. Now, this is more like it. I like watching people struggle. Look at them struggle. Look at them. Look at the understeer. Look at the struggle as they go around there. Look at it. Look at the struggle. It's so painful. Look. Like herding cat's head. It's like trying to herd fog. Honestly. It's like trying to herd fog with these boys. Now, there is a tactic to this. And I'm hoping that none of them are watching for me to say this. But if you honestly just chuck it in and floor it, the front end just comes around on its own. You've got to chuck it in, tap the brakes, floor it, help the front end come round on its own, and then just deal with it on the exit. See, look, Dan's doing that there to get the back end around. He needs to floor it now. There you go. See, look, it behaves down the inside. Well, they're doing 70 kilometres an hour mid-corner. Just shows you the pace, doesn't it? There's Draycott getting it sideways. So Steve Burke is fastest at the moment with a 25.6. But now they're doing 34s because they're doing the laps properly. Here's Ben Hicks. There's two Bens. Gets into a bit of argy-bargy. Oh, it's painful, isn't it? Look at it. Oh, I must be evil. Honestly, I must be so evil to do this to these boys. Right then, practice is over. Time to see what they can do in qualifying. Oh, I really do hope you're enjoying the show though, everybody. A lot of fun to put this together. It really is. And I have to thank the guys for getting involved and being good sports as well. You know, I could have easily just gone in there and said, please don't do this, and then they would have carried on. But they haven't. They're a good bunch. So, as you can see, it's not lone qualifying. No, this isn't in slow-mo, Ian. This is in full speed. Real time. Look at the understeer. Now, what they've got to do is get a lap in to get their tyres warm. Oh, there's contact behind. Who is it? Oh, it's probably just people hitting the wall out of all things. Now, Draycott and Dent. Just trying to get a clean lap in this session is going to be a nightmare. So Draycott is hard on the lock. Down the straight. He won the oval race. Now can he win the dirt oval race? The dirt oval race. I emphasised the right bit of the sentence. It'll make sense. Look at that sideways in there. So Dan McCauley's done the fastest lap. Fastest of the out laps. He's done a 17.4 in sector 2. Oh, 3 wide, and you know you are. Andy Fox. Now, again, this brings in a lot of different aspects of oval racing here, where you may take a wide line. As Fraser hits the wall. A wide line gives you a really good run off the corner. So Draycott's fastest, 33.9, 34.0 for Dent. Austin third, Fox fourth. Oh, Fraser's nearly driven into the flipping pit wall. Steve Burke does a 35.6. Yeah, the cameras are not having trouble. Honestly, the cameraman will probably fall asleep here. We carry on watching Dan McCauley, who's done a purple sector 1. Now, can he avoid Foxy for the latter part of the lap? Oh, he's wobbled in front of him. He gets it down the inside. Luke Austin's driven into the wall. You've got to think that might have held Dan up a little bit. Can he go quicker? Calvin Dent goes fastest. Bennyworth goes quickest to 33.1. And Dan McCauley, there you go, 32.8. Purple sector 1. Purple sector 2 for Bennyworth. Luke Austin 6th. Jackalet's 8th. Smith now up to 9th. Burke is 12th. Silkstone goes 8th instead. Good to see a good showing from Ben Hicks tonight, who says, get out of the way, Fraser. See you in a bit. Wow. So this is the real struggle of the race meeting, this one. You've really got to be patient at this point. Very patient. There's 10 minutes of qualifying, but I'm wondering whether we advance it. I'll have to see. Fraser's gone in a little bit too hot there, but wow. Now, that's the thing, Andy. You say brake bias all the way back, but you really can't edit much in this car. I'm not even sure that you can change the brake bias. It's painful. It's painful how little on this car you can change. And no, Ian, of course these guys don't know what the word patient means. They will do when they end up in hospital after a massive accident here. As Niall Crowther improves, goes 8th. Ben Hicks is 4th. Ben Bennyworth is in 6th. These boys are showing that if the series takes to dirt oval racing, that they'll be on pace with some of the other boys. And look at that big drift from Bennyworth. It does look like understeer, but it's actually oversteering a little bit there. He's got a good run off the final corner. He just wants to avoid hitting Luke Austin. Maybe he can get a good time in. Draycott's gone fastest. McCauley goes back to the top again with a 31.8. 32.0 for Bennyworth. Sorry, 32.0 for Dent. Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. I hope you're all enjoying it. Don't forget, please do subscribe to Simracersworld TV. And do obviously subscribe to Chaz Draycott Media as well. If you want to find out more about the British Boring Car Championship, you can head to the link that you're about to see at the bottom of your screen now. chazdraycott.com/boring cars. You'll see everything there. Or just head to chazdraycott.com if you want to see what I'm up to. I'll find out more about what I do. It's not very exciting. In all honesty, Jack, I believe it's a rolling start. I sincerely hope it is a rolling start as well. Let's go on board with Liam Silkstone, who for some reason never has a driver's suit on, and I'm not sure why. Look at that. Scandi flick from Silkstone. Oh no, he's got the front end tucked in nicely there. Gains on Fraser Smith big time. That's a nice run by Liam. Dan McCauley's done 3 purple sectors and gone to the top by 0.3 of a second, nearly 4 tenths. Silkstone goes up ahead of Andy Fox. He's 5th. Oh, there's an off for Luke Austin. And back into... There's really nothing you can do. Honestly, when you're halfway around a corner like that, there's nothing you can do. There really isn't. Luke Austin out of that one, unfortunately. Who is that there? Was that Josh Rayfield or... Oh no, Josh's internet's died as well, it seems. Any news on a new season, says Ed May? Well, unfortunately, mate, at this moment in time, no. I have said it'll be probably second half of next year when we have a 3rd round. I just need to see what my plans are for 2021. But a little bit of excitement for anyone that wasn't joining us earlier on. On the 14th of March, Coches Aburridos in España. Boring cars in Spain. A 3-hour endurance race around Barcelona, Catalonia. Each car must have 1 driver from the British Boring Car Championship in it, but they are welcome to have whoever they want as a co-driver, so long as it isn't another driver from the series. So if you do fancy getting involved with some of these guys and having a right laugh at Circuit Barcelona Catalunya, then make sure you get in touch. And to be fair, if you want to get in touch via me, there will be sign-up forms and things going up for it in January, so do keep an eye out on chazdraycott.com and of course on social media as well, and you can find yourself on the grid with these boys. It's going to be a Bathurst 1000 style thing. There's 2 drivers per car, and like I say, one of them must at least be a driver from the British Boring Car Championship. But there is no restriction on who jumps in, so long as it's not another one. But really looking forward to that. And I know that a lot of these guys are definitely in for it as well. Now, we all know the Jetta does well on fuel, so the fuel is obviously going to be limited, but like I say, there's going to be a lot of info given on that closer to the time. But that will be the next event, unfortunately. After this, there will be nothing from the British Boring Car Championship until at least mid-March. I'm just loving watching these things just drift around. It looks like monumental understeer, but you've got to admit, they are still sliding mid-corner. McCauley and Draycott and Dent at the moment, top 3. And then there's a couple of tenths back to Jackalette. Only 1.8 seconds covering the field. Luke Austin is unfortunately bottom of the pile so far. He's just got a bit too much poke mid-corner there, and it's going to understeer wide. Keeps it out the wall, though. And has he got a good run, actually? Does he improve on his time? He doesn't. 33.450. He's on a 32.9 as his best. And definitely not getting the hang of it at the moment. But hopefully for some of these guys, they start to get a line sort of dug in. Yeah, sorry, Ian. I know it's going to be a shame not to do anything with the series for a while, but just need to focus on setting myself up for a good 2021. Now, Jackalette and Silkstone have both improved. They're 1,000th of a second apart, and then only 9 thousandths ahead of Calvin Dent, so it's incredibly close. 3rd, 4th and 5th. Then Ben Hicks is a good 3 tenths back from them, so we've got a very distinct top 5 at the moment in terms of lap time as Silkstone hits Niall, who's nearly into Steve Burke in the number 5 machine. Anton Dupan in the chat, good to see you, mate. Welcome to this. If there were other words other than the Christmas party for the British Boring Car Championship to describe this, then yeah, I don't know what else you could call it other than daft. So Dan McCauley is currently fastest at the moment with just over a minute of qualifying left. And a lot of these guys now, you may think, well, they're not going to improve on their times. They'll be trying to just dig a line into the circuit. Just make a groove, as they call it. Just to try and get a little bit more turning, a bit more purchase. These tracks really do develop. Yeah, mayhem's a good word for it. Look at Dan's commitment there. Big drift. It's all about maintaining the car being sideways and pointed where you want it, and then have a good run off the corner. Dan makes it look very easy at the minute, though. He's only a tenth faster than Draycott on his fastest time, but this looks very promising from McCauley here. 3 pints in, Andy. Cheers. Cheers, buddy. So there is Dan. 31.097. Jack Alet's gone second fastest now, with a 31.11. And this is going to be the end of the session then. So Dan McCauley, who we've spoken to a couple of times tonight, will take pole position. Now, how many are going to survive turn 1? Because don't forget, these guys, while it may be difficult to get a hot lap in, they've got to do a race while avoiding each other. Silkstone's actually just gone fastest, you know. Silkstone's gone fastest, and McCauley steals it off him by 0.06 of a second at the death. Wow, that was important timing for Dan McCauley. Amazing. Amazing stuff. That will be it now. And we should get the grid. And here we go. There's the truck. Dan McCauley, pole position 0.06 ahead of Liam Silkstone, with Carl Jacquelet and Matt Draycott on row 2 of the grid. We then have Calvin Dent and Fraser Smith on row 3, with Ben Hicks alongside Andy Fox on row 4. Then it's Michael Blake and Steve Burke on row 5, with Ben Pennyworth and Luke Austin on row 6. And then at the back of the field, it's 2 dodgy MOT cars, Niall Crowther and Jack Werrell, lining up at the back of the pack. So there's Dan McCauley alongside Liam Silkstone. Liam says he's got a nosebleed. Understandable. So we'll go on Blimpy Boy, just to see the field make its way around. I don't think we have an incident limit on this. Dan's lit up the fronts and nearly put it into Draycott. I'm getting notifications on the timing software that people have crashed because they're going so slowly. Now this is going to be an interesting warm-up lap actually, because it's going to be difficult to get the car around here and manage to stay up to pace. There's going to be cars all over the place because Silkstone needs to back off so he doesn't get a penalty for being ahead of McCauley. And then they all need to slow it up and not hit each other when they catch up to the pace truck as well. Oh, this is going to be a hilarious race. Another 15-minute one coming up for you here, everybody. And then, at roughly 9:15, we should have the Daytona Rallycross Race Meeting, which I may have to edit and just push back a little bit. Okay. So there we go. I've just realised we might have to push that back. That scared me. It's a good thing you can edit sessions while you're in another one, isn't it? Anyway, Dan McCauley, as the truck moves very unnaturally out of the way. Dan McCauley's going to lead the field away, and they go! Go, 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 go! Look at it. So much horsepower being put down here. And into turn 1, and everyone's going to understeer into the wall. Silkstone hits the wall. There's a bit of contact in there with Calvin Dent. Oh, Steve Burke's into the side of Fraser Smith as well. Is there going to be anything like an overlap? We might as well go on blimp cam and have a look at it. Now, Fraser Smith down the inside of Jacquelet for 4th. Sorry, for 5th. Ben Hicks has gone a little bit deep there. Michael Blake as well. Is Hicks going to stop it before the wall? He gets a bit of a tap on it. And oh, Blake gets in there as well. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on between Fraser Smith and Carl Jacqueline as they go down into 1 and 2 again. It seems I miscalculated it. Werrell's very sideways there. He's gained 4, nearly 5 places at the minute. There's bags of understeer on the exit, as David Addison would say. Andy Fox trying to come through the middle. I mistook Andy for Blake before. And this is Draycott trying to take second off Silkstone. Dan McCauley leading the way. Carl Jacqueline just behind trying to hold on. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on here as well. Andy Fox is still trying to hold on ahead of Werrell. Though, and you've got Ben Bennyworth. Let's go on board with Ben. See how it looks here. They're actually behaving themselves incredibly well. Look at how sideways Werrell is on the way in. I love that. Great commitment from Jack Werrell. Foxy's got to run down the inside. Side by side they go. Draycott still on the back of Silkstone. Calvin Dent on the back of Smith. Oh, he's run wide. Makes a bit of contact with him and a bit more. Nibbling away at the back end of it. Michael Blake goes through. Oh, Foxy's had a nightmare. He's been overtaken by Ben Bennyworth as well now. We've had more racing laps than the last race already. Look at Jack Werrell. He's backwards into turn 1. Full Ken Block reverse entry in there. He's like Vaughan Gittin Jr. Smashes it in there sideways. Hey up. Oh, was talking about smashing it sideways. Niall Crowther has just put it in the wall. Probably his third leg weighing the car down. Matt Draycott has... Oh, there's argy-bargy at the back. Luke Austin's in the wall. Oh, and... Oh, Foxy smashes into Bennyworth. Are we going to get a yellow for that? Are we? No. They're carrying on. They don't care. The organisers don't care. I don't. Crack on. There was some severe argy-bargy, though, going on a bit further back on this lap. So let's see what happens here. So Crowther's off. Just in front. Oh, Werrell hits the wall, and then Austin, and then Hicks, and then Crowther. Had to be Werrell, didn't it? Bless him. Silkstone's dropped down quite a lot as well, you know. Carl Jacqueline overtaking him not long ago. There's no handbrake in this car, Jack. There is no handbrake. There's Silkstone, chucks it in, spins it around all on his own. Does he 360 it? Oh, he does. But Dan McCauley still leading this race at the moment, doing a great job. Fastest lap of the race as well. Draycott second, Jacqueline third. Dent and Blake very close together in the midfield. Fraser Smith just in front. 2 chrome machines. Get out of the way, says Calvin Dent. Oh, that was Ben Bennyworth. Apologies. Don't even know my own liveries. How good am I? Andy Fox having a bit of a blink in and out. Steve Burke cares not for that. He chucks it in. Tries to complete another lap without hitting the wall. It's very difficult to do. Now look at the run that Foxy's got off there, if you can. He's on his digital camouflage. Closest 2 on track though. Oh, does it sound like someone just hit the wall there? One of the dodgy MOT cars. Closest 2 cars on track though, Matt Draycott and Carl Jacqueline. Oh, you've got to love it. If you don't laugh, you'd cry. So, Matt Draycott, second at the moment. Dan McCauley, another fastest lap of the race, 31.0. Carl chucks it in very sideways. There is your reigning champion. Look at all the stones and bits of mud and cack being thrown at the car. These things do handle this pretty well, in all fairness. Now, the inside line is starting to really sheen up now, so they're going to get a lot of grip on that line. Steve Burke is holding on in front of the intermittent Andy Fox. Maybe it's some sort of distraction technique. As Liam Silkstone battling with his old mate, Calvin Dent, or he would be, if I didn't get it mistaken for Ben Bennyworth again. Ben's a lap down, unfortunately, 14th place at the moment. I said how well he and Ben Hicks were doing as the 2 newcomers to the series, but unfortunately this race has not been very fruitful for them. In the background there, Jack Werrell has got past Luke Austin. All the blue cars seeming to struggle here at the moment, but this is close again. Draycott now with Jackalette right up behind him into 3 and 4. Although again, I repeat, it's only one corner. Jackalette really pushing here, you know. If I click on the right car, it'd be brilliant. Look at the amount of lock that Cole is using on the way in, and he's just moderating it bit by bit. Well, there's not much moderation in just smashing it onto 900 degrees. Hello. Very close to Draycott there. Through 1 and 2. Dan McCauley doing a great job here, though. He's showing that he's got this control under control. Anton saying the right-hander looks tricky. Oh, and I think there's been a hit. Draycott's been pushed way out wide. I heard contact. Is it a Carl Jackalette special? No, it wasn't. Draycott goes in too hot. Someone else made the contact. Apologies, Carl. Carl up to second place now. It looks like Draycott's going to get a good run off the final corner, though. Although, to be fair, Carl carries the speed nicely. Andy Fox is trying to chase down Steve Burke. They've got Jack Werrell closing in on them as well. Ben Bennyworth on the right-hand side there. Also, how good does the dirt look in iRacing? They've done such a beautiful job of getting the reflections and things just right. As Werrell chucks it up the inside. He's got past Andy Fox here, somewhere. There is Andy. Hello. We go back on board though. Just look at the reflections as we go around here. Watch as we get out of turn 4 now, the left-hander. Look at that. It's absolutely stunning. Just like the back of that Nodaphone car of Steve Burke. Jack Werrell will be itching to get past him. Luke Austin and Niall Crowther are having a ding-dong at the back. Trading yellow and blue vinyl with one another. There's Luke. Oh, understeers to just avoid him. Maybe a bit of contact with Steve Burke and Jack Werrell there. Now this sets some of these guys up with car control scenarios for the Rallycross meeting, which will round out our evening here in the British Boring Car Championship. The Christmas beach party. We're just downstate at the moment in Florida at USA International Speedway, but we'll be packing up all the trucks and all the cars and going straight back to Daytona after this one for the Rallycross meeting at the very end. It's close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th as Draycott has passed Carl Jackalette for P2. He's been focusing on the exit of the corner and he's got the run side by side down the back straight though. Close stuff between the pair of them. Jack Werrell has done the fastest lap of the race. You're very right indeed, Mr. Ashton. Jack Werrell's on a mish. Jackson 30.73. Dan McCauley does a 30.73 at the exact moment with a purple sector 1. 30.75 for Liam Silkstone. 30.8s and 30.9s for Draycott, Jackalette and Smith inside the top 5. So Jack Werrell really flying at the moment around here. It seems he's found his calling. Look at that. Look at the input. Nice. It is all about momentum. He's conceded to the middle line there and he's just going to carry the pace, shallow it out. And off he goes. 30.626 from Liam Silkstone. I think he got an incident point, so it hasn't counted it as the fastest lap of the race. 31.2, Andy Fox does his fastest lap. Just over 5 minutes to go. Still so much kicking off. The engine noise. Yes, Anton, you've got to love it. The engine noise is all Dan McCauley's got to worry about at the moment. Sorry, I've got concerns raised by by Jake that the session is at the wrong circuit for the next session, but yeah, hopefully it's all good. Now here's Calvin Dent, who I've been told by Mr. Ashton is trying to fight with Liam Silkstone. The two of them good mates. Oh, Dent hugs that inside. And now has to try and build up the momentum again. Liam's going to get away. Draycott and Jackalette side by side again. Fraser Smith trying to unsettle the pair of them. Oh, Jackalette's gone wide. He gets a bit of contact. Oh, and into Smith. Liam's just gone around the outside of Dent, apparently. Oh, or he did that previously. Now look at this. Jackalette and Draycott. Who's going to push this the hardest? Now Draycott's going to try and get some sort of cutback or a good run off there. Is he just going to push Carl? Draycott's now got the inside line, although Carl turns in. Oh, Carl turned in as if it was his normal line. Draycott straightens it up and now runs very wide. What can Smith do? Well, go through is what Fraser Smith can do. 3 minutes to go. Oh, we've had an issue for Ben Bennyworth again. Oh, I think he's just pulled it over. Yeah, he's just pulled it over at the line, unfortunately. This is still going on then. Fraser Smith up into a podium spot again. Started 6th. Biggest mover so far is Jack Werrell. He started in 14th at the back of the field and he's now up to 8th. So doing a great job so far is Mr. Werrell. Young Werrell. Draycott chucks it up the inside of Fraser Smith, nearly overdoes it. Tries to open up the line on exit to get a run. Can either of them have a pop at Carl Jackalette? Oh, a bit of contact. Fraser's going to go in the wall, but it looks like Draycott can't capitalise on that there. Or can he? He's now down the inside. Can he make the most of this on Fraser? Looks like he will. He's going to try and go for Jackalette as well. Carl straightens up for just a moment. So much patience involved here, I love it. Now Calvin Dent is trying to attack Michael Blake, who Liam Silkstone has also got past. Oh no, sorry, Michael Blake has got past Calvin Dent, so I'm losing track of where everyone ends up here. We've got just over a minute left to go here in the third race of the evening. And then we can move on to the Rallycross race. Draycott gives Jackalette bit of a shove. Needs to be careful of that though, because Fraser Smith is going to try and get a run out of the corner as well. Looks like Fraser has got said run as well. No, there's no overlap. Oh, Fraser hits the wall. Draycott chucks it in. Fraser's a little bit sideways. Is Draycott going to repay the favour on Jackalette? Is he going to give him a little nudge? Nudgy nudgy. You can see the beautiful gold banner there on the Team Red Ring car. They're wearing gold banners, of course, for winning the team's championship in the season just gone. Now Dan McCauley has started what I believe to be his final lap of the race. Niall Crowther's just jumped out of the way of these boys. It's Jackalette in car 8, Team Netcode machine. Oh, Matt's giving him a bit of a tap there. What's that going to do for him off the corner? Because Fraser Smith is there, so he needs to be careful. But round the final corner, your race winner of race 3 of the evening is Dan McCauley for Team Jane Fonda. Beautiful stuff by Dan. Nice composure all the way through. Oh, and it's kicked off between Draycott and Jackalette. Ben Hicks is flinging it around the wall around the outside. Draycott, I think, let Jackalette back through there for 4th. Silkstone 5th. Great stuff from him. Jack Werrell finishes 6th. Nice drive. 8 places gained. He beats Michael Blake. Calvin Dent and Niall Crowther having a bit of a ding-dong over the line as well. Let's have a look at what happened to Calvin Dent and Michael Blake. Oh, no. Look at that. Sneak attack from Jack Werrell down the inside. Sneak attack indeed. Now, what happened to Matt Draycott and Carl Jackalette? There they go. I think this is the very last corner. Oh. Although, was that a long time before? I think it was, you know. Tarmac Oval Night Race, yes. Around here, yes. Very much yes. But Dan Macaulay is your race winner. Although apparently not on screen. Yes, there he is. There he is indeed. And here are your race results. So Dan Macaulay takes it. Fraser Smith ends up second with Jackalette third. Draycott finishing fourth. Liam Silkstone, despite that spin, had a really good drive back through into fifth. Jack Werrell also 8 places gained, biggest mover in the field, up to sixth. Michael Blake just beats Calvin Dent across the line with Steve Burke in ninth and Andy Fox in 10th. A lap down we had Luke Austin, Ben Hicks, Niall Crowther and Ben Bennyworth. Now that was mayhem. We haven't actually spoken to him tonight, but someone I did want to talk to after having quite a run through that one. Matt Draycott joins me in the booth. Matt, that was, well, different. Well, I don't think he's there at the moment. I keep doing this to people, don't I? I should probably bring people in.
Hello.
Oh, here he is. Now,
I was connecting.
That was a very odd one in comparison to even the other 2 races that we had before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, my right hand is hurting.
I'm not surprised.
Quite a lot.
There's a lot of turning left going on tonight. A little
Especially on an F1 rim.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I forgot you were on that. You can't just sort of fling it around like a round wheel. But talk me through what happened at the end there, because I saw that it looked like you let Jackalette back through, but I know the two of you had a little bit of argy-bargy at points.
Yeah, I let him through just because I realised that I was going to hit him, put on the brakes, and it just did nothing. So it did. I thought it actually turned him round, because obviously I saw it at the wall, but he actually kept it, which is quite good. So I thought, I'll just let him through. Why not?
Yeah, it certainly looked like a lot of fun though. And well, on to Rallycross next. Now, do you think that having the Rallycross at the end of the night after that, do you think that the Dirt Oval may have prepared some of you guys for it?
Yeah, because I think a lot of us we started off where on the Dirt Oval we were just trying to turn it as normal, as you do on a normal track. Whereas now we know it's just full lock.
Yeah.
And absolutely send it in and it'll do it. So I think that's probably what we're going to have to do, aren't we?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of commitment involved in this last race, especially as now the field gets split up a little bit. So obviously we have the heats, we have the consolation and so on. So you guys get a bit more time to sort of get used to it and work your way through to the final before the last points are given. So are you going to be going for it in the heat or just assessing what's going on around you?
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was going to go for it.
That's very true.
I know it's a laugh, but yeah. Points on offer, so why not?
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, points are on offer for the evening, of course, so we will end up with having a sort of winner of the evening, but I've not calculated any of it yet, so brilliant. It's going to be announced off air, I think. It might have to be. But still, good to have you here, Matt. Obviously, running the number 1 after winning the championship, so you need to sort of uphold a bit of honour in this last one, but we'll keep an eye on you.
Nice one.
Matt Draycott, newly crowned champion, of course, at the end of last season. A guy that had a really good run through that one. Liam Silkstone, I'm hoping is still there. He's just made a noise on Discord. He is. Liam, that looked hilarious, mate. You had a right, even though you had that spin, because you were chucking it in really hard, even though you had that spin, you still had a fantastic comeback in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, so what had happened, I'd come in, because Matty must have been chatting about, I don't know if he was saying he was driving one-handed, and I'd qualified on pole for half a second, and I'm shouting and cheering, and Dan got me all like, not even bothered, take second. And as I'd come into the first corner, my steering wheel was the wrong way up, I think, anyway, and I'd gone into 6th instead of 4th, and the back come round, and I was like, oh no. So I worked my way back through, went on the outside of Calvin, which he's not happy about. That's why he was sort of giving me a bump. But no, it was highly good fun. I enjoyed that one.
Well, now you've got obviously a little bit more dirt to contend with in the form of a Rallycross Race Meeting that's going to round out our evening. Do you think that I've just asked Matt the same question? Do you think that that's going to have set you up at all for this one?
No idea, because I was just chatting with Andy about where the dirt is on the track, and it's full lock one way, full lock the other, then jumps, and we'll just have to see, work it out.
Well, I hope you can, because I don't think I'd be able to, mate. But well done in that one. Fantastic result for you, and we'll speak to you a little bit later, I'm sure.
Down, thank you.
Cheers. Right then, everybody. We've filled time with that. A little chat with Matt Draycott there, and of course, Liam Silkstone. We should have the next session just going live in a moment. I'm just going to be calculating the points as things go once we get into the session, so then we can see whereabouts people are in terms of their scores for the night, because we know that Jake Robertson obviously won the first race, and then the winner of the second race was Matt Draycott. Dan McCauley winning the third one, but we'll figure out the rest as we go. Still, plenty of fun to be had here in the British Boring Car Championship. It's what it's all about. Everyone having a bit of fun. And he's offered himself up for a little bit of a chat anyway. Now, we've already spoken to him twice tonight, so apologies if this gets a little bit repetitive. But Dan McCauley has asked, where is my chat the one time I've done well? But the third race winner of the evening. I mean, you've just said there, obviously, in chat, Dan, that force feedback was very difficult on that being on a direct drive wheel, but did you find yourself driving one-handed or using both?
I had to use both. I couldn't hang on to the wheel for just use one. What I could have done with is, you know those little like knobs you get on like trucks or like forklifts and stuff?
Yeah.
One of those would have been pretty good.
I'm not going to reference the one from the Grand Tour that we all know that James May had, but yeah, I can imagine in a situation like that it would have made life a lot more simple. But well, I've asked the same question to the other guys as well, and obviously it's worth asking the same to you just to see if we get a different opinion. Do you think that could have potentially set you up ready for this Rallycross meeting at the end?
In a way, because you know how loose the car is, but not in a way because Rallycross actually requires a little bit of, not skill, but more finesse in the way that you have to counter steer. Whereas in the Dutch Oval, it was literally like you're going down the straight with like 180 degrees of left lock on to not hit the outside wall. So I think Rallycross is going to be different. Some people might overcompensate after that, but no, it should be a good laugh.
Indeed. Well, I'm going to be figuring out the points now while we get into the last session, mate. And obviously, you know that you're going to have set yourself up for quite a good one there. So we'll try and figure out what you need to do before the end, and we'll catch you in a bit.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Right then. If you just bear with me 2 minutes then, guys, we'll get loaded up into the session. And good old Chaz here is going to try somehow to figure out these points, because we could do with knowing, couldn't we, to be honest? So if you bear with me in a minute, we'll be right back with you. we'll at least give you something to watch, shall we? While I just sort these points out in the background. Do just bear with me, and we'll have these sorted in just a minute. But here we are then at Daytona on the Rallycross circuit. We'll try and play with some of the camera angles, but Jake Robertson, of course, a driver in the iRacing World Rallycross Championship, so definitely a force to be reckoned with here. And a lot of the guys have said, Jake, if you do not win this, then we're going to be very disappointed in you. So the pressure's on Jake Robertson. Yes, I'm just sat here doing the points right now. I will not lie to you, everybody. But I want to make sure that we know if anybody can win this by the end of the evening. Of course, there are points being handed out tonight, so, you know, these guys are all very competitive. They want to know whether they can get a win out of this or not. You know, they want to be the champion of the British Boring Car Championship Christmas beach party here at Daytona. Looks to me at the moment like we've got a couple of decent contenders for the overall win. We will be catching qualifying in a minute. So far, your leader is actually Matt Draycott on 28 points, Dan McCauley 24, Josh Rayfield 22, and Jake Robertson tied with Carl Jacquelet in 4th on 20. So, reigning champion of the British Boring Car Championship. Can he do this again? I do have a spreadsheet, Anton, but I just didn't have it prepped and ready beforehand, I'm afraid. Because I'm useless, that's probably why. Now let's go on board with Steve Burke. Oh, well. So this is Jack Werrell on board, then over the jump with Liam Silkstone just in there behind him. Is damage on? Did I see a damaged car? I really hope damage isn't on for these boys, because that would be a nightmare. Let's just keep an eye on this. I really hope that damage is off. Now Jake knows what he's doing, so we're probably not going to see him get this car damaged, but there's a sight for sore eyes. The Jetta jumping through the air. I just want to see a car crash, just someone crash, so we can see what happens. Did anybody else notice if there was a damaged car or not? Because I'm scared now. Practice underway though. There are the times on the left hand side. Jake Robertson obviously fastest at the moment. Now, Jake could win this from Matt. He needs to get 8 more points than him. We're doing the usual British Boring Car Championship point system though, so it's 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As Draycott goes fastest. 50.385, 3/10 faster than Jake Robertson. So if Jake wins this and gets 15 points, Draycott needs to basically finish in the top 5. Dan McCauley could also do it. He's only 4 points back on Matt Draycott as well. Jack Werrell's doing not too bad. He's got 15 points. The drivers without any points so far: Luke Austin, Ben Hicks, Ben Bennyworth. Niall Crowther has 2 points. Tell you what, let's go back on board then. Jack Werrell will be our guide around the Daytona Long Rallycross course. He's just started a lap then, although that's where the start is, and now this is the start-finish line. Turns 1 and 2, right then left, chuck it in, get it over the jump. Feels like it takes forever. Flick it to the left, slow it down somehow, chuck it to the right, get on the power. Nicely done by Jack actually there. Now this is the long part of the circuit, so you're not going right here. You've got to wait till it suddenly grips on the tarmac, get it over to the left, get it stopped, and then this is painful, this bit, because it's a concrete hairpin, then suddenly you're on the dirt, and the car wants to get away, although Jack doing a great job of getting it turned in there. No damage confirmed, thank you very much, Jack Ashton, I ought to employ you. And then Jack crosses the line and finishes a lap. So who's going to be your British Boring Car Championship Christmas Beach Party champion? Put your estimations in chat now, everyone. As Werrell goes second fastest here. Jake may be a World Championship Rallycross driver, but that don't mean nothing. As David Addison would have probably said, it's gained him 2/5 of naff all. In terms of, this is one of my favourite phrases that I've heard in commentary for a while. Here's Steve Burke, our mate Steve, doing a beautiful job. He's had a very topsy-turvy season. He had a very strong part in the middle of the season, bit of a rough start, and then towards the end it was just a nightmare for him, unfortunately. Ended 5th in the championship though, so he can be very pleased with that. He was 8th in season 1. But we are going to have now qualifying, which will then lead to, hang on 1 second, let me just check. So we're going to have a 10-minute qualifying session, then we've got 3 heats. Heat 1, Heat 2 and Heat 3, then the consolation race. So top 3 of each heat go into the final race, and then 3 from the consolation go into the final. So we should have 12 in the final overall. Now we have lone qualifying, so we'll watch Jake Robertson, because we all know that this is his bag. He's had a very successful year this year in the iRacing World Rallycross Championship. We'll have to see whether the Jetta can rattle him, shall we? Very interesting concept. Oh, he's gone a little bit hot there, hasn't he? Oh, gets back on the power, tries to wrestle it around. Let's face it, if you wanted to pick a rally car, this absolute canal boat of a diesel Volkswagen is probably not the best. And yes, Anton, yes, the Johnny Smith Late Break Show with Jason Plato and Matt Neal is awesome. I've not seen the Jason Plato only one. I believe there was a sort of prelude chat with just Jason beforehand, which I'd be very intrigued to see. So hopefully if he's put that live, that's something for me to watch in bed tonight. So Jake Robertson completes a lap then. Let's see who put some laps on the board early on. Robertson 50.588, Macaulay 50.7, Draycott's third with a 51.1. It's very close. 3.9 seconds around a circuit that's as difficult as this is not going to be easy. Now I think the gridding system with this means that it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I know, trust me, that sounds stupid, but you'll have driver that finishes first in Heat 1, then Heat 2, Heat 3, and then again 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. We have 14 drivers in this at the moment. Merc V, hello from Russia. Great to see you, mate. Very well, thank you. We're having a lot of fun here in the British Boring Car Championships Christmas Beach Party. This is the final race of the night. And it's Rallycross in Volkswagen Jettas. Still can't believe I'm saying that. Dan Macaulay, hello. Fastest. 50.092, 50.887 for Draycott. Look at that, 0.8 of a second clear of everyone else. Dan Macaulay and Jake Robertson at the moment. That's crazy, isn't it? Now, excuse me for just a moment while this comes up. So they get 10 laps, 10 minutes or 10 laps. So basically, the session will run as long as it runs. They've got all the time of this session to put laps in. We're not going to be advancing it at any point. That's Dan Macaulay. Josh Rayfield is currently 4th at the moment. 1.1 seconds off the pace. Then it's Fraser Smith, Liam Silkstone, Steve Burke. Jack Werrell still hasn't put a lap in yet. but he's got 10 chances to do it. So you'll see these guys pushing hard now. It's not your usual sort of session where you'd get just 1 or 2 laps. You get a lot of different chances at this one. Whoa, Jack sends it one way, then sends it the other. Fantastically entertaining, but not the quickest way of doing that. You can just see it scrabbling for grip as Draycott has gone fastest with a 49.6, nearly half a second clear of Macaulay and Robertson. That's no problem, Merkv. Not a problem at all, mate. To be fair, you probably speak better English than I do. Some of the stuff I say half the time doesn't seem to make sense, but it's part of it. But yeah, Draycott, I mean, we were almost guaranteeing that Jake Robertson would be the top dog at this. He's just done another lap, 37 thousandths off Draycott, who seems to do all right in these things, as he's going to go, hello, across the curb, and again, yep, that's not comfortable. We've had a purple last sector from Carl Jacquelet in the Team Netcode machine. There's 3 sectors on this circuit. The middle sector, apparently for Dan, was only 8 seconds last time round, and everyone else has taken 19 to do it, so I'm not sure quite what he cut of the circuit. Josh Rayfield has gone to 3rd. Now we'll have to keep our eye. The best way to know about this gridding system would be to see where 1st and 4th end up. If they're in the same heat, then it's basically 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if anyone else can confirm that, but we'll see. Jack Werrell's gone up to 6th position with one of his laps that I didn't notice at first. Silkstone now goes up to 5th, ahead of Steve Burke, although he then displaces him in 5th. Crowther goes 7th. Oh, big jump by Jacquelet. Oh, look at that there as the front wheels dig in and then suddenly spin up. Really spits the car off in a straight line. For Carl Jacquelet, that's not an easy moment to get back from. It's all about momentum in these cars. He's trying to give himself a good run there at the final corner to then go across the line. Although that's the final corner to go past. Now, the wall on the left, basically, the exit of the pit lane, you'll see it, there's the banner. That's where they start the race. And the actual lap timing is just on the exit of this hairpin here. Oh, flipping out, along with the rest of the air that Carl's just left underneath the car. I hope to see Foxy do well in all of this. Andy's been such a star since the British Boring Car Championships inception. Plenty of banter in his first season with his teammate Niall Crowther. Really good teammate to Michael Blake in Season 2. And just an all-round brilliant guy, Andy Fox. Top bloke. He had a very, very tough Season 2. As you can see by the fact he's got the number 10 on it, on the side of the car. He did finish 10th in the championship. Look at that, nice tight line there by Andy. You can hear him short shifting. The car suddenly digs in, plenty of tyre smoke, and off he goes. Hicks does a 1 minute 12.7. He's 3.8 seconds off the pace at the moment, unfortunately. Not quite able to stick with it. Jacquelet goes up to 7th. Werrell goes up to 5th. Pushes Jacquelet down to 8th. Top 4 still the same. Andy Fox there improves. 51.583. Look at that. With the sunset behind it. That's a beautiful image, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful image. Just the awful Jetta, sky high, sideways with the sunset just underneath the wheels. These guys will be wearing the dirt out on this surface though, so it'll get more and more grippy, I think, as it goes on. Ben Hicks has improved, 52.1, just goes ahead of Luke Austin. Luke having a bit of a tough time by the look of it in this session. As Rayfield, 49.521 for Josh Rayfield. That is sending it, and the reigning team's champions, Team Red Ring, 1 and 2 at the moment. Rayfield fastest, Draycott second. Macaulay still 4th. Still trying to find time. 2.5 minutes to go. The pace of it down there. Go back on board with Dan Macaulay. We've got on the nose camera actually, just so you can see what the very front of this car sees as it gets subjected to what is only describable as torture for such a machine with such stiff suspension. Look at that shot, great stuff. Anton Dupin is off. Well, thank you very much, mate. Great to see you. Thank you for supporting the channel as ever on Simracersworld TV and, of course, the British Boring Car Championship. These hours are made for the Brits. Well, thank you, mate. Thank you, Merc V. Thank you very much indeed. Well, if you subscribe to Simracersworld TV, you will not miss a beat. Unfortunately, the British Boring Car Championship will not be back for quite a while. This is the first actual broadcast of this series on this channel as well, so you've come in at a good time. Oh, definitely, Ian. Definitely, there will be some mega shots, especially of the big one at Daytona. That's incident of the season for me in British Boring Car Championship, even though it wasn't part of the official season. Macaulay's found himself 6th now, as Burke and Werrell have both improved. And he's going to find himself off the end of the jump. Oh, scary moment there for Dan Macaulay, and he pulls over. Calvin Dent is in the pits. He's 13th at the moment. He won't be very happy with that. Austin's gone up to 11th. I think this may get dark, you know, before this we're done. Oh, Niall! Oh, Niall! Wow! That's how you go off in style. Steve Burke has parked it. He's decided he's chilling. Carl Jacquelet also chilling. Luke Austin, well, there's nothing chill about that. Oh, as soon as that left rear clips the grass there, it just drags the car away, doesn't it? Luke gives up. Andy gives up at the same point. There's no giving up for Ben Hicks. Absolutely on it. Ben's been very enthusiastic about getting involved in this. He's not enthusiastic about hitting that apex. He's certainly enthusiastic over the jump. And into the wall he goes. And enthusiastic is the word. When you watch Josh Rayfield drive, he's very quick. Very exciting. A little bit inconsistent as the season went on, but Josh was very, very good. Sideways, flicks it one way, flicks it the other, gets on the power, doesn't want the left rear to clip that grass, and that is, unfortunately for him, the end of the session. So the first heat then will be Josh Rayfield, Steve Burke, Liam Silkstone, Fraser Smith, and Calvin Dent. So if you haven't seen heat racing before, basically, there'll all be a small group that go against each other. The top 3 from each of these races will go through into the main race, the feature race at the end. Calvin has said he's not going to be racing in this last one, unfortunately, so he will be watching. But the first heat then in this race is away. The gentle roar of diesels has already contact between Steve Burke and Liam Silkstone. 5-minute heat. You've got 2 Nodaphone cars here. 67 is Fraser Smith. Number 5 is Steve Burke. Josh Rayfield leads the way. Now, you thought this was hard enough when there's 1 car on the track. Watch it when there's just 4. There's contact mid-air. Oh, Burke and Smith are around. Burke manages to save it. Smith is turned around. So basically, whoever finishes last in this one is not going through into the feature. So Fraser needs to crack on. But Josh Rayfield leading it then. Fastest qualifier. Ahead of Steve Burke and Liam Silkstone. But these heats are only 5 minutes. They're very short indeed. You can guarantee, though, that Fraser's going to be working hard to stay with them, because any mistake could cost these guys a position. Especially if we have any sort of incident between these pair, Liam Silkstone and Steve Burke. We'll have a quick look back at what happened. A bit of contact on the way in, and it's just that touch as they go into mid-air. The 2 of them bounce around. We'll have another look, see. It's easy to squeeze through there, and I think, yeah, just unfortunate contact again and again. Didn't help them out at all there. So there is Fraser trying to recover. Oh, you can see again that left rear just clipping the grass. Plenty of dust and cack being thrown up there by Steve Burke. Looking back, Liam Silkstone is in there somewhere. If anyone's ever believed that the sun shines out of his backside, you could have been definitely fooled there. I've never heard the phrase, the sun shines out the front of your Volkswagen Jetta, though. Look at this. Into the dirt they go, over the jump. Oh. Merc V, this is iRacing. And it is fantastic. Look at Liam, how sideways he was then. Unfortunately, though, clips the grass, slows him down a little bit. Tries to get it turned in the other way. He's flat out and it's going nowhere. Oh, Fraser Smith, no. Fraser's had an issue. Over the jump again. Car's a little bit sideways. Bouncy, bouncy. Oh, and into the wall and the other way around for Fraser Smith. Although he's committed. He's carried on as Fraser, bless him. Fair play to the lad. Now, Liam Silkstone is eyeing up a move on Steve Burke here. He's eyeing up the stickers on the back of Steve Burke's car. What's going to be doing here? Let's dare to go on board with Steve Burke's rear bumper cam. Over the jump. Look at that. Fantastic. Oh, they're both all over the place. Liam might get... Oh, he needs a black flag clearing. Jump start. Well, he shouldn't have jumped the start. Fraser might actually end up with this. There is a consolation race. Great to have you, Adrian. We have royalty among us, everybody, in the chat, in the YouTube chat. Adrian Falcon, champion of the Sim Racers World Formula 3 series with sim stickers. And Adrian, if you want any more information on the British Boring Car Championship going forward, you can look at the link below, chazdraycott.com/boring cars. Any info about any events coming up will be on there. White flag is in the air then. It's 5 minutes or 5 laps, whichever comes first. And someone who's going to come first is Josh Rayfield, by the look of it at the moment. But this is still going on between these pair. Oh, and Steve's clipped the grass. Liam's done the same. They're both going to understeer like mad. You can hear the stones just rattling around all over the place. Sounds like about 50 people trying to start chainsaws all at once. Josh Rayfield then, looking like he's going to walk this one. Doing a great job at the minute. Onto the brakes into the final corner. And he is going to be very pleased indeed. Now, Liam Silkstone. Liam Silkstone cuts the circuit and overtakes Steve Burke at the line. Oh, hey, oh, wow, that made me jump. Now, I'm not sure what the classification is going to be on that one, because you've got to think that both of them may get penalties at that point. Maybe Liam, well, there's a penalty of his own. Liam might get one for cutting the circuit. Steve might have got one for the jump start. I'm wondering how that's going to be classified, because Fraser Smith is going to cross the line now. Is he going to be counted as ahead of him? Now you can see, look, yeah, the two of them got penalties, but no. No such penalty for these guys. Now, Heat 2. Matt Draycott, Jack Werrell, Carl Jackalette, Luke Austin, and Ben Hicks in this one. So Matt Draycott qualified second. And what can Werrell do? Werrell in the middle there, Jackalette on the left. Carl's been involved in a few incidents tonight. Let's see if he can get involved in another one. They're away. Looks like a really good launch for Draycott, to be fair. Now is Werrell going to chuck it up the inside? What can Jackalette do? What can Austin and Hicks do? Austin's a little deep there. They all go a little bit deep first time round. There's going to be a pinch. Oh, no. Carl has hit Luke. Oh, boys. Sometimes you just need to get out of it, don't you? Jack Werrell's on his side. He'll be kicking off at that. Let's have a look what happened. So to me, there was a gap there. Carl went into said gap. And he just should have got out of it, unfortunately. You could say I'm picking on Carl, but in all fairness, if you're involved in multiple incidents, it sort of writes itself. Draycott has bolted away here because Ben Hicks has had an issue. And he's really dropped back. I'm not sure if he's just struggling a little bit with it. But he's definitely dropped back from Draycott now, and Austin and Jackalette are with him. Werrell managed to get going again. Somehow, he's managed to actually get the car back running on its side and crack on. Of course, damage not on for these bits, because these cars would not survive. Trust me, every time you land off the jump, it breaks something on the car. The suspension just does not cope. So we can't risk any of that. Even over these jumps as well, the suspension doesn't cope, as Jackalette gets very sideways. So too does Luke Austin just in front. Luke wants to try and get past Ben Hicks, but you've got to try and do it cleanly. Ben's gone a little bit hot in there. Can Luke get the run? He can. He's going to go down the inside and through. He goes up into second place. Now, don't forget, it's the top 3 in these heats that go through to the feature. Oh, Ben. Oh, no. Luke. Oh, no, Luke. Oh, Luke, mate. Will Werrell help him? No. Oh, Luke. He got hit there in the back by Ben Hicks. Just going mid-corner, and because of just the unnatural traction of this Jetta, it just pops itself on its side. He's on the dirt, and it just... that horrible bounce. Oh, no. Ben Hicks also got passed by Carl Jacquelet not too long ago as well. So Carl now up into second position. Jack Werrell fourth, so if any of these guys in front get a penalty, Jack could actually get through. We're on to the third lap of this one now. Where's Luke Austin? Oh, he's got going. Luke's managed to get going. I don't know if has he done something to the car? Oh, he's managed he's managed to spin it around, and I'm hoping that it just digs in. Oh, there it goes, look. Oh, there it goes. Fantastic commitment, Luke. Fantastic. I'd love to think that Jack Werrell said before, trust me, mate, keep your foot in, wiggle the front wheels about a bit, and it'll get back upright. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So this is your race leader. We're yet to see... Oh, wait, Ben Hicks is chucking everything at it. There's contact between Werrell and Austin as well. Hicks is currently on for getting into the feature. Werrell's trying to crack on and get through. Look at these boys. I love that Luke doesn't care his lap down. He's just getting involved. You can see an onboard from that if you want. Well, it's a good thing that Volkswagen faked the emissions, isn't it? There you go. But Matt Draycott has white flag in the air in this second heat. I believe we're going to see Dan McCauley and Jake Robertson in the same heat as well. Two very good friends. Two very quick boys, as they're known. Matt Draycott's close to making it 2 wins for Team Red Ring. Very quickly, I want to just see Jack Werrell got the move done on Ben Hicks just after this, actually. We'll go back live, though. Because around the final corner, to win Heat 2 is Matt Draycott for Team Red Ring. Seems like if you start on pole and get through the first couple of corners, you're in for an easy day. Carl Jacquelet. He'll be questioned for that incident early on, I'm sure, by the other guys, but he gets second place and gets himself a spot in the final. And Jack Werrell grabs the final spot just ahead of Ben Hicks. There he is. Plenty of style points at least. But Luke Austin and Ben Hicks will go into the consolation race. So we've got one more heat, and then we will have the consolation to see which other 3 get in. But only 4 cars in this one this time. So we've got Jake Robertson and Dan McCauley, and then ex-teammates Niall Crowther and Andy Fox joining them as well. I'll just give the overlay a quick reload. We've got 3 of them on the front row. Jake Robertson on the inside, Dan McCauley on the middle. Oh, and it looks like Niall might have jumped the start there. They're away. Oh, Jake's got right hand down. Oh, Dan's got through the middle. Loves it. Andy Fox is going to hang back a little bit by the look of it. Nice. Nice stuff from Dan. Oh, there's contact between the 2 number 10s, even though one of them's meant to be 23, but don't tell anybody. Jake Robertson's down the inside, side by side with Dan McCauley. Now towards the jump they go. A little bit of contact. They've both gone straight on. Do any of them roll over? I can't see. Have they bounced around? Andy Fox is to the front. That means one of these pair will end up in the consolation race at this rate. Andy Fox leads the way. Niall Crowther second. Jake Robertson third. Now Jake needs to work hard now to get on with this. Dan got given his chance with Jake fluffing the start, but unfortunately that chance has gone now. What's happening with Foxy here? He's got Niall right behind him. think there might have been a bit of a contact moment there. Well, this is looking like an exciting one, isn't it? The third heat. Top 3 go through. 4th place will go into the consolation. Jake Robertson down the inside of Niall Crowther. Now, this looks dangerous. Side by side into turns 1 and 2. Will they leave each other room? Will they ever? Jake Robertson goes through. Niall needs to catch that on the slide. Dan's lively. Oh, no, Andy. Andy's chucked it over the curb, and has he chucked it away? Oh, Niall's gone straight on as well. But no, Andy. No, mate. Let's see how horrible this looks on board. It's just going far over to the left, and it suddenly grips, and bang. Oh, that's horrible for Andy Fox. The headlights are on here. Nice to know these cars still have headlights. I really do believe that we're going to see an unreal final race here at night. So not only is it Volkswagen Jettas on a rallycross circuit, it might be in the dark. So Dan McCauley now trying to chase Niall Crowther. He doesn't need to get past Niall, because if the race finishes as is, he is through. Look at them all wiggling their way over that jump. Oh, Jake's gone in a little bit hot there. I'd say a little bit hot. He's gone in very hot. Dan focusing on a good run out of there. Does he get much momentum over Niall? He taps the brakes. Doesn't want to hit the back of him. Foxy still pushing on, bless him. But that's so gutting for Andy. Now Dan has got past Niall by the look of it, although Niall's later on the brakes. He's going to try and carry some pace around the outside. No such move on there, although he looks back down the inside. Bit of an overlap. Nothing doing. Whoa, Niall chucks it over the curb, chucks it over the jump. Oh, the car's around. Is that an invitation for his teammate Andy Fox, or his ex-teammate? Does his own little jump. Here's Andy. Here's Johnny. Oh, look at... It's painful, isn't it? Painful understeer. So this is now going to be a one-lap dash to see whether Andy can outdo Niall for that final spot in the feature race, putting Niall into the consolation. The top 3 from the consolation race go through. But Jake Robertson leading the way at the minute. Dan McCauley currently second. What can Niall do to hold on? Just needs to have a smooth final lap. That looked nice and smooth. Look at Andy. It's just hilarious watching these cars bounce over the jumps. Oh no, Andy's really... Oh no. It's run wide on the exit. They're really pushing hard though, aren't they? I'm so gutted for Andy, leading early on in this heat. That little mistake. These cars, honestly, they're so hard to predict sometimes. Front-wheel drive on a rallycross circuit is not easy at all. But iRacing World Rallycross Championship driver Jake Robertson takes the win in Heat 3. Great job. Dan McCauley is going to finish second. And Niall Crowther gets himself a spot in the feature. And unfortunately for him... Oh, he loves it, does Andy. He will find himself in the consolation race then, before the feature. So coming straight up now then, we have said consolation. So it's Fraser Smith, Ben Hicks, Niall Crowther for some reason. I wonder if Niall had a penalty. Interesting. Calvin Dent and Luke Austin. No Calvin Dent on the grid by the look of it. And they're away. Ah, Niall jumped the start, didn't he, in that last heat? So I'm wondering whether he got given a penalty for that. And Foxy's been given free rein to go through into the feature. Now Luke Austin's late on the brakes around the outside. There's contact between Hicks and Crowther. Smith's gone... Well, he's almost not in Florida. Niall Crowther's ended up in the lead somehow. Oh, there's contact between Hicks and Fraser Smith. Oh, and Luke's got off the edge of the jump. They all have. Fraser's the only one that manages to complete it. Niall Crowther leads the way, although he's gone a little bit deep into there, if you ask me. Fraser's into second. Hicks has made a little bit of a mess of it. These guys are all desperate to scramble through. Now the top 3 go through, so you could say it's a bit of an easy ride, which is a bit of a shame because it means that only one person is not going to be in the final, and I feel sorry for that one person, but they will, I promise you, I promise, I know it's harsh, but they will get the mick taken out of them for weeks after this, for being that one driver that doesn't make it through. But Niall's thinking, right, stuff it, let's make up for that last one. I'm on my way, mate, see you in a bit. As in, see in a bit, I'm going to run wide at that apex. But Niall holding on to lap 2. Fraser Smith second, Luke Austin third, but he's got Ben Hicks right behind him. This is the position that matters the most, that final spot, and you can see he's just got a bit more confidence than Ben through there. Ben may be a bit inexperienced in these cars, bless him, but he's been so passionate about getting involved. I've loved it. The support has been brilliant. That's actually worked out quite nicely for him there. Now, oh, Niall's gone a bit hot into there. What's Fraser going to do? Down the inside. Have that, he says. Biff. Through he goes. Look at the understeer there from Niall. It was just going in a straight line. So Fraser Smith leads this one. I should have done it as one car goes through to the final, shouldn't I? Lap 2 out of 5 in the books. Now the feature race is a 15-minute encounter, so plenty can go on then. As oh, Niall, where are you going? Oh, hey up. Now Ben Hicks is looking like a sudden winner here. All the others are just chucking it at the scenery. Plenty of fun to be had here, though, isn't there? Awesome. Awesome stuff. So Fraser, after showing how much pace he had in Season 1 of the British Boring Car Championship, he's doing a wonderful job here. Nice clean jump there. Now that was a bit of a mistake, wasn't it, to say the least. Oh, Fraser! Now that's not just a little mistake. I think that's ended it for him. As he's stuck on the wall. I thought he was going to get away with that, but he's stuck in the wall. Oh, Fraser! So there's the first mistake. It got very sideways. Gets on with it, and as it bounces off the wall, oh, he gets stuck in that bit of arm coat. No! Oh, that's heartbreaking for Fraser. But it also means that Ben Hicks has made it into the top 3. Just going to watch Ben Hicks and let him have his moment. Sorry, I'm just replying to a couple of messages from some of the drivers just asking about the format. Because obviously we are going to have the feature in a moment. Fraser in the YouTube chat. I'm so sorry, mate. F is for Fraser. Press F to pay respects. Wow. Can I get an F from everybody in chat just for Fraser, please? F is for Fraser. Now, Niall Crowther and Luke Austin are fighting to the death here over the final corner. But Niall Crowther wins the consolation race. Well done, Niall. Luke Austin second. Ben Hicks is going to be third. And unfortunately for Fraser, he doesn't get through. So, we have a warm-up session to deal with first then. Whew. Right. So, let's drag some people in. First off, we'll chat with Matt Draycott. So, Matt, just to put the pressure on. So far this evening, you are on 28 points.
Easy.
Which means that you are top by 4 points over Dan McCauley in second on 24. And then we have Josh Rayfield on 22. Jake Robertson and Carl Jackalette on 20. Do you think you can win this?
I don't know, because I'm not... Like, I did a really fast time, but... I don't know, I've not really got the confidence for this, because it's really difficult on a Formula rim, as I just go flying off into the distance.
Well, I'll let you carry on with practicing and I'll go annoy somebody else, but good luck.
Cheers.
And another contender for it, who will also drag in, Jake Robertson. Jake, you are currently, as of this evening, you are tied for 4th place with Carl Jacquelet on 20 points. Matt Draycott on 8 points, so you need to beat him by quite a bit. Do you think you can turn the deficit around?
See what happens. It's a little bit of luck in the Rallycross, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. You could be P1 one lap and then last another lap. So we just saw in the last race that that happened.
I was going to say, I wondered what was probably being said in the Discord chat there with everyone in it. I imagine there's some swear words from Fraser and potentially from Andy as well. But good luck in the last one, mate. You could end up on top, but like you say, we'll have to see.
Yep, cheers.
Another contender that is currently 3rd this evening on 22 points, just 6 points off his teammate Matt Draycott, is Josh Rayfield. Josh, mate, you pulled that out of the bag in qualifying, didn't you?
Yeah, mate. I'm gonna take Jake's seat in Rallycross next season.
Mint.
Yeah, he's offered me it and everything. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no. I don't know how I did that, to be honest. I was a bit... Oh, shit. But yeah, I don't know. I did that, to be honest.
Well, it's going to be an entertaining final race, mate. You could still win this. You know, it's 15 points up for grabs. You're 6 points off the top spot. So, yeah, potential is there, mate. Do you think you could maybe just wing it?
Send it, yeah. Send it. Either way, mate.
Well, best of luck, Josh. We'll catch up with you later.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Right then. We'll see if Dan Macaulay's in there for an interview as well. We will have a quick chat with Mr. Kevlar himself this evening, Carl Jacquelet, who is currently still in practice. Carl, you are tied with Jake Robertson in 4th place for this evening, with the potential, if you beat Matt Draycott by 8 points, you could win this thing. Do you think you could do that?
Well, there's always a chance in Rallycross anything can go wrong, and it usually does.
Yeah, it's certainly been lively. What have you made of the Jetta sort of developing around this circuit?
This circuit is really difficult with this car. Some of the corners you just can't get the car to get any traction at all. It just sits there spinning its wheels up, and we're off again.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those sorts of noises, to be fair. But yeah, you're still in the hunt, mate. You've had quite a successful evening so far. So fingers crossed you can do the same again in the last one.
Well, there's always a chance. I enjoyed the dirt oval. Really enjoyed that. That was a great race. It was great fun. It was very difficult with open wheel. I was driving literally one-handed, so I could get enough lock on it.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers were saying that was a very tiring one. So hopefully, even though this may be a bit more stressful racing-wise, hopefully it's a little bit less of a workout. But we'll leave you to it, mate. 1 minute to go and warm up, but best of luck.
Cheers.
Carl Jacquelet there. I'm just wondering if we can sneak a very... Oh, way up. Sneak a very quick interview with Dan Macaulay, but I think he's too preoccupied in trying to win this thing at the minute. As Jack Werrell and Jacquelet taking each other off. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Well, I'm not 100% sure how the grid will work. I think it'll probably put the 3 heat winners at the very front, and then it'll position them back 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on from where they finished in their heats, with the consolation drivers being put at the back. But just before this starts, everybody, I want to say thank you for everybody that's been watching so far. Really have enjoyed this event. Putting it together with these boys has been a great laugh. And to be honest, without all these guys and them lot being great sports, this wouldn't happen. So thank you to them. Thank you to everyone that's been watching. And of course, Ian Roots and everybody at Simracersworld TV as well for allowing me to put this on Simracersworld TV, hoping for a bigger audience. So, Team Red Ring 1 and 2, with Jake Robertson 3rd, Liam Silkstone 4th, Carl Jacquelet and Dan Macaulay on row 3. Then it's Steve Burke and Jack Werrell, Andy Fox and Niall Crowther, Luke Austin and Ben Hicks. The final race of the night then, in the British Boring Car Championship Christmas Beach Party from Daytona, is Wait for it. Wait for it. Away! Good launch by Draycott through the middle. He goes. Look at Dan McCauley on the left-hand side. Get in there, sunshine. Flies through. What are we going to see shenanigan-wise in the middle? Oh, there's contact. There's more contact. There's more contact. There's a bit of argy-bargy. They're 3 wide still. Oh, and Draycott's gone off. So's Rayfield. Jackalette, McCauley. Silkstone in there as well. Robertson's involved. Burke's sideways. Oh, there's loads of them off. Draycott's in that, though. Draycott's not got away with it. Look at look at Niall Crowther through the middle. Oh, we've got Luke Austin. And Andy Fox rolling over at the front of that. Oh, and there's a big argy-bargy behind. Who's that? It's Werrell. Launching it over the curbs. Now Draycott, as things stand, 6th place, will get Draycott 5 points. Josh Rayfield will get 15. So that would mean that Josh Rayfield is in position to win this thing at the moment, because he'll get 10 points more than his teammate. So that's really shaking it up. Let's try and pick apart what went on. So, in the middle then, look at Dan McCauley. So Jake Robertson runs wide as McCauley comes back on. They make contact with Liam Silkstone, who then gets pitched over to the left. He gets put around. Fox hits the back of Robertson. Dan then is wiggling all over the place. Steve Burke gets pitched sideways. There's more contact with Dan and Jake. Werrell smacks into the back of Draycott, clearly not slowing down for the incident. He's got his brake lights on, but it's not doing anything on the dirt. Jake gets hit. Then Dan McCauley gets another hit, but that straightens Dan out, and him and Draycott both get launched over the jump. Luke Austin and Andy Fox. Now there's contact at the front. Jackalette loses out. Fox and Austin go over the jump and flip around like, I don't know what, it's like something out of Rocket League. But still, the race goes on. So this is Liam Silkstone on Niall Crowther. This is for 6th position. Liam down the inside. I didn't think it'd go dark this quickly. Matt Draycott is 5th now, just ahead of these pairs, so he's on for 6 points. So Josh will potentially win this. As Liam's gone way too deep into the wall. He goes. Jake Robertson wants to get it back involved in this fight further up. Dan McCauley and Steve Burke are right together. Oh, Steve's bounced off the wall. Dan's on his left. And Dan goes through. Now he could beat Draycott here. Obviously, he is on 24 points. Draycott's on 28. For 3rd position, you'll get 10 points. Then it's 8 and 6. So they will be tied on points. After this, they've both won a race meeting each as well. They swapped results in the last race meeting as well at the Dirt Oval. So something needs to change here between these pairs. Burke's gone a bit hot into there. Is that going to give Draycott a chance? Although no, he's made a mess of it. So is Silkstone. Oh, we've got cars all over the place, as we ever do in the British Boring Car Championship. Now further up, look at this. Dan McCauley trying to get past Carl Jackalette now, so if Dan does go forward, he is going to take this. Side by side with Jackalette. Oh, he gets in front, actually. Thought there was an overlap there, but clearly not. Now what can Carl do? Can he get him back? Dan is now on for 12 points. Whereas Draycott for 5th place would get 8. That could very quickly become 4th place as Steve Burke's had contact with Jackalette. Draycott can sense this. Oh, wow. He's on for 6 points. He gets 8. Oh, that's pitched him very sideways. He gets away with it a little bit. Liam Silkstone's on his left, though. He needs to be cautious of that. Liam has pitched him, and he's turned him around. Draycott's off. Comes back on. Steve Burke's hugging the wall. Jake Robertson goes through down the inside of Draycott now. Looked like Matt could have had this in the bag, you know, but now... Oh, I don't think that's the case. Josh Rayfield is just driving off, by the way. He hasn't won a race in the British Boring Car Championship this season, but he'll be very happy to win this. Dan McCauley seems safe in 2nd, so Draycott's got all the work to do in this mid-pack. We've got Liam Silkstone bouncing around. Jake Robertson's going to try and get through. Now, will this cause something? Oh, Liam gets rid of the gap, smashes into him, into the wall, hits Draycott. That was loud. Cheers, Liam. Well, he just didn't leave the room there for Jake, unfortunately. Jake had to go somewhere. Draycott's gone in hot. Oh, Burke and Jackalette kicking off at each other. Got these boys. They're trying everything. Steve Burke down the inside of Carl Jackalette. Look at that line there from Steve. Really keeps it tight on the inside. Oh, he gets a hit off Jackalette from behind. Robertson saying, not on your life. It's great to know I can trust these boys not to make contact, isn't it, when the incident points are gone. Liam had a bounty on his head. Yeah, basically, Matt needs 4th place to win. He will get 8 points. Although, no, actually, no, I think he needs 3rd. He needs 3rd because you'll get 10 points. And even then, if Dan wins, Matt needs 2nd. Because Dan's only 4 points back. Contact between Robertson and Jackalette and more. Draycott smells freebies. This is so tense. So tense indeed. Got Liam Silkstone now behind Jack Werrell. Nice slide by Jack through there. Draycott's got ahead of Jackalette. But then he's understeered way wide. Gets on it again. Now he's up a place. So Macaulay will currently get 12 points. Draycott will get 8. They'll be tied on points if they finish how they are now. Although Josh Rayfield will get 15 and he would win this by 1 point at the moment. Jake Robertson is currently 3rd. He wouldn't be able to do anything with it. Jackalette down in 6th would get 6 points. So yeah, at the moment it'd be Josh Rayfield taking this entire evening if he finishes there. Now will Steve do Matt a favour and let him through? Because Steve is not in the running for this. Steve is down in 12th position out of everybody that signed up. Werrell and Silkstone having a fight as well. What's going to happen here between Draycott and Burke? I don't think Steve's going to give it up. He's a racer at heart, isn't he? Races in the real world Brit Car Series. 2016 Class 2 champion of Brit Car, I must add. Look at Draycott there sideways. The car goes one way, then the other over the jump. Keep it together. Oh, he's hit the jump big time. That straightened him up. Well, to be fair, he manages to save it. Dan Macaulay is trying to chase down Josh Rayfield, but it's just not working yet. 5.6 seconds off him. He's got Jake Robertson behind as well. Then Burke and then Draycott. Needs to avoid that wall. It's 15 laps or 15 minutes, whichever comes first, and it will be 15 laps. The gap's going up to Josh Rayfield, you know. Josh is doing everything right here to guarantee himself this win. The only thing that could change it now is Matt Draycott gaining another place ahead of Steve Burke, gaining himself 2 points. Although that's not going to help him, because he's currently on to get 8 points, is Draycott, and if he gets 10 points by getting past Steve like that, oh, bit of contact between the two. So it'd be 15 for Rayfield for a win. Dan Macaulay would get 12. Jake Robertson would get 10. No, Draycott would not actually get 8 points, sorry. Draycott would get the 6. So even if he gets 2 more points, he will be tied with Dan Macaulay. I calculated that wrong. So if Matt ends up getting 8 points here, he's still not won it. The 8 points at the moment would be going Steve Burke's way. Jake Robertson's got past Dan Macaulay. That's important. Jake now on for 12. Dan on for 10. So Josh Rayfield is 3 points clear. Josh Rayfield is on his way to 37 points at the front of this. Dan Macaulay and Matt Draycott both on 34. Go on, Josh. He's had a very rough season. We're on lap 12. There's only 3 laps left, and the gap is 6.7 seconds to Jake Robertson. The gap back to Draycott from Burke has opened up as well now. These cars are being put through their paces, aren't they, everybody? Absolutely put through their paces. They are getting centres. Oh, Draycott's very sideways. Steve was sideways enough, but Matt clips the curb, really chucks it around. Jack Werrell has decided that he's going to do a joker for the sake of it. Ben Hicks has unfortunately had an issue somewhere. He's getting lapped now, actually. Josh Rayfield has lapped him. Here is Josh lapping Andy Fox in the number 10 machine. Still, this goes on though. Steve Burke just ahead of Matt Draycott. I didn't realise it'd go this dark, by the way, everybody, so apologies. Some nice floodlighting around though at Daytona, isn't there? Some nice reflections going on. Robertson's done the fastest lap of the race, a 48.8. He has sized that gap down now to 5.1. Where's Steve going? Steve's had a right moment. Can Draycott capitalise? He's got a good run off there, but I don't know if that's enough for him. It's not. There's Ben Hicks getting out of the way, bless him. Oh, Draycott's bounced over the curb, and he's around. That's surely the end of it for this evening. Or is Jack Collette going to gain the place? He's not. He's definitely not going to get past Steve Burke now. It is out of the window. Josh Rayfield on course to do this. Really on course to do this. I didn't think it'd be this close. Yeah, I'm not surprised Vision's difficult with how dark it is. Jake is flying. 48.6. I'll say that as we go to him understeering into a wall. But Jake is 2 seconds a lap quicker than Josh. He's got one more lap to do this. There goes Josh, just out of shot. There is Jake. Let's go on board, see what the vision's like. There is the target. Jack Werrell's just been overtaken by Liam Silkstone. We're on to the final lap of the night here in the British Boring Car Championship Christmas Beach Party. There goes Josh across the line. Luke Austin apparently appears in 4th place for some reason. Even if, to be fair, this is the amazing bit now. Jake is the real spoiler in the pack, because if Jake gets ahead of Josh Rayfield here, Matt Draycott, Dan McCauley and Josh Rayfield will all tie on points. But Draycott and McCauley will have a win apiece, which Josh will not have if Robertson beats him. However, it's not looking like Jake can get it done now. Josh Rayfield is about to go into the final corner here of the final lap of the British Boring Car Championship Christmas Beach Party. And he may not have considered himself a competitor early on, but Josh Rayfield is your Christmas Beach Party champion. Fantastic drive, Sunshine. Very well deserved after a tough season. Jake Robertson, beautiful performance there into 2nd place. Dan McCauley, what a fight back that was after an incident early on. Steve Burke is going to come home in 4th, and Draycott fought valiantly and ends up 5th. But wow, oh wow, what a race meeting this has been. So much fun. So much fun. I really do hope you've enjoyed this, everybody. But I know somebody who will absolutely be over the moon when he finds out. Wow, okay. Josh Rayfield. He's your Christmas Beach Party champion, everybody. Another title for Team Red Ring. Matt Draycott wins the Drivers' Championship in Season 2 of the British Boring Car Championship. Team Red Ring are teams champions, and now Josh Rayfield adds to their trophy cabinet with the Christmas Beach Party. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody that's been watching this evening. We're going to get plenty of interviews in just a moment with the drivers. We'll just let them all calm down a little bit, shall we? Foxy had a 100-second penalty. Love it. Wow. Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you, honestly. It's been a real pleasure to do this. Again, I want to just say thank you to Simracersworld TV for allowing me to do this. Well, we do have this sort of what seems like a stationary shot at the moment, but we're going to get some drivers in for interviews in a moment. and we'll have a quick chat with whoever we can. I'll just chuck them all a message. Anyone got any highlights from this evening? And to be honest, I think I know what the highlight is going to be, and that is either that final race there with so much going on, or the big one, Daytona. That was epic. Absolutely epic. So just to go over the final standings there then for that one. So Josh Rayfield takes your race win, with Jake Robertson in second place getting 12 points. Dan McCauley gets 10. 8 points then go the way of Steve Burke. Matt Draycott gets 6. 5 points go to Carl Jackalette. Liam Silkstone grabs 4 of them. 3 to Niall Crowther. 2 points to Jack Werrell. And the final point going to Ben Hicks, his first point of the evening there. So your final standings then for this evening are, we'll go through this, say, in the top 5. So 5th place with 25 points was Carl Jackalette for Team Netcode. In 4th position with 32 points was your eventual 2nd place finisher in that race there, Jake Robertson. Tied for 2nd place was Matt Draycott and Dan McCauley. And your overall winner for this evening, Josh Rayfield. Awesome. Absolutely awesome stuff. And, well, he's been our most frequent visitor to the interview booth tonight, but with good reason. Dan, I mean, start of that race was not what you wanted, but, I mean, you had a fantastic recovery from then on, you know, people just dropping off around you. What did you make of that race overall?
I had no idea what happened at the start. Literally, no idea. So it was a bit of a panicked start, and I think that didn't really help the rest of the race. But no, it was difficult. Just Josh had a gap that was too big to even try and close down, so it was just trying to hold Jake off. But when I seen how fast he was coming, it was just a kind of a losing battle in a matter of time. I was hoping that I could have had a bit of a ding-dong, but I made a mistake and he just got straight past. So yeah, that plan went straight out the window.
Well, still, I mean, you came away 2nd overall this evening, and I mean, you know, you had a bit of a rough ride when the regular season was on, but I mean, to come away with that tonight with such a mixed bag, it must be quite a good experience.
If only I hadn't messed up the first race, I would have cleared it by a few points, but I think everyone could say that about one particular race tonight.
Yeah, that's very true.
It was a good laugh, it was good fun. I suppose it's done what a beach party should be, just less girls involved, obviously.
Yeah, less bikinis, I hope. But still, great to have you again, though, Dan. Thank you very much for joining us. Is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before you go?
Quick shout out to Jack for somehow managing to go to the shops, eat a kebab, and still make the grid for the dirt oval race and go from last to 6th. That was my highlight of the night.
That's absolutely epic. Fair play, Jack Werrell.
Yeah, that has to be my shout out. So that was the team Dan and Jack powered by some random kebab shop somewhere in Lincoln.
Well, thank you.
Not sure what he had, but clearly it's
it worked.
It's got to be put on the nutrition plan for all the current F1 drivers, and I'm sure we will soon be taking the royalties from that. So
definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you for that golden nugget of information, Dan. Pleasure as always, and I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Catch you in a bit.
Cheers. Well, we'll build up to it, shall we? Because we'll bring in Matt Draycott again. Matt, just nothing quite went your way in that one, did it? But you still come away 2nd place overall tonight, tied with Dan McCauley. You must be pretty pleased.
Yeah, it was all right. I'm not a massive fan of how that went, really, but yeah, doing it on a Formula Rim wasn't great. It was just so hard to get it full lock so fast. Like, I turned my force feedback all the way pretty much down to try and help that, but yeah, I'm not really too fussed. It's only for a lap in it, so I'm happy that Josh got the win. Is that right?
Yeah. Josh has won it overall. So as I said,
then Team Red Ring.
And I know, another one for Team Red Ring. You know, probably the worst team name in the entire series. But yeah, it's still an epic night for the pair of them. But wow, what a lot of fun though. I mean, which was your favourite race of the night?
I wasn't a fan of the dirt.
I don't think anyone would be.
Yeah, it was the dirt oval wasn't too bad because with this rim, like I said, with the wheel rim, it wasn't too bad. But like I just don't like Rallycross. I've never been able to get along with them.
Yeah,
so
it's a different bag, isn't it?
I must admit the just the oval. The oval was fun. And then the first race was good because that was just crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, I expected the oval to be the most mental, but I think we got about 3 laps of racing in. But either way, plenty of fun. I do have to move on though, but obviously finishing your season then with a championship and a decent result here, you must be pleased. But is there anybody you want to give a definite shout out to before you go?
Yeah, obviously all the lads in the chat, we've all been having an absolute laugh in there tonight. It's been so funny. I don't think there's ever been 5 minutes where someone wasn't laughing, especially in that first race because it was just a bit of a mess. Yes. So all the lads in the chat, obviously you for putting it all on and for funding it all and all the rest of it. Yeah, that's right. And Bosco.
Yeah, Bosco dog, love it. Well,
as I hear him, I hear him jingling.
Well, thank you very much again, Matt.
Excitement.
Indeed, he'll be very pleased. But well done, obviously, on this season, and well done tonight, and we'll speak to you very soon.
No worries. Cheers.
Cheers. Now, my next interviewee has just become a legend in amongst people in the British Touring Car Championship. Jack Werrell, I'm told that you went to get a kebab and managed to eat it and still made the dirt oval race. So, just talk us through how you managed to do that.
Yeah, well, by far best performance of the season, eating that kebab. It was
Purple
yeah,
sector.
it was pretty much all the way. I was walking out, had a quick sort of saying, right, I'm going to the shops. Do you need anything from the shops to move? And I thought, right, sod it, we're just going to go for it. And about Mach 3 down the street, I managed to get to the shops. Not a clue what I wanted until I got there, so I just went, right, doner kebab, salad, mint sauce, we're done.
Oh yes.
Got all that sorted, and on the way back, I was necking it. I basically inhaled it, and as soon as I walked in the door, I ran upstairs, spoke to Dan. I was just saying, right, how long have I got? And he went, about 53 seconds. So straight onto iRacing, straight leading into a session with no practice and with Dan's guidance, managed a decent result. But yeah, it was a fun night all around. Me and Silky had a few little moments, sharing each other's paint here and there. And Rallycross Race, we thought, right, okay, let's both go for it, and we did. Well,
it certainly looked like a lot of fun, mate. And you know, you guys really embodied the spirit of the event tonight, and I'm very grateful for that. Have you had any highlights this season or over the course of this event that you want to share?
This season, I want to say no, because I haven't done that well. But I've got to say, Alton Park, the first time for me back in the car since the end of season 1, really enjoyed that. I think it was just getting back in the car and seeing how competitive everyone was and seeing how close everyone was racing, albeit I got a penalty and got demoted out of the points. It was still so good. The commitment, just seeing Josh go sideways down the hill, it's a great championship. Everybody has all chipped in and made it what it is. And tonight, well, all of it, specifically the kebab, that was definitely a good strategy choice this evening. But no, all three tonight it's been a great laugh. A couple of moments where I got a bit sort of heated, and you think, what are you doing, Jack? There's no need to get angry. It's just a beach party. It's literally no cares in the world. Everybody goes out, everybody has a laugh, and yeah, I think that was achieved tonight.
Definitely was, mate. Well, very well done on the kebab. Well done on the last to sixth, and well done overall this evening. It was great to see you again. And of course, you know the question. Do you want to give anybody a shout out?
Of course, Simracersworld TV for allowing you to take over the channel for the evening. You for doing a lot of the heavy lifting throughout the entirety of Season 1, Season 2, all of the media stuff in the background, everything. Everybody watching along as well. It's been great to watch the chats back through and seeing what people are saying, watching me get abused, but then sometimes praised. I think the kebab's probably quite worthy of a good praise in the chat. I think Ian Fox is enjoying that. And all the drivers, literally anybody that's had anything to do with it. I don't think I'll be about for Season 3, all being well, but it's just been mega. Season 1, Season 2, and everything else we've done alongside it.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun, mate. So thank you very much. Great to see you again, and well, we know we'll speak soon anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good night.
You too, mate. Cheers. And I did promise him another interview, and obviously Mr. Werrell just mentioned him there after they had a bit of an evening of trading paint there. Liam Silkstone joins me in the chat. Liam, you were involved in just about everything tonight, weren't you? I don't think there was one car or wall you didn't hit, but it seemed like a load of fun.
Nobody's mentioned it, and I don't know what you're on about. I don't remember any of it.
Certainly looked like, obviously, a very mixed bag of talent needed this evening, but you seem to do all right on a lot of it. I mean, your pace around the dirt oval, as we spoke about it closer to it, it was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, the dirt oval, I was second. Well, pole in second, then spun because I'm an umpty, and then the warm-up for the Rallycross, I was a second quicker than everyone, and I went, hold on a minute, and everyone's going, now you've cheated. I'm like, no, I've done it, and then I got wiped out on the first lap, so it wasn't really helpful.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough one, but you know what Rallycross is like. I mean, Jake has probably told everybody as well. It's a lot of it is down to just where you position the car and when. Sometimes you're going to get hit, sometimes you're not. It's a different bag, but still, you've had a very successful evening. To be fair, I mean, just looking at the results, you didn't finish in the top 10, so I'm going to shut up. But you know, that's not really what it's all been about, though, has it? It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all been a good laugh. I enjoyed the dirt oval more than I thought, and the Rallycross was mega until we started trading paints. Me and Matty had to come in together, which was highly amusing. And then Jake deciding to wipe me out, which you might have caught on purpose for a fiver. Matty owns Jake a fiver. And then me and Jack just having a bit of a laugh towards the end. So...
No, it was well embodied, mate. Well embodied, and obviously thank you for taking part. Hopefully, when Season 3 comes about, we'll see you in that as well. But before then, do you want to give a quick shout-out?
Shout out to yourself for doing a great job with everything and everything like
Thank
that.
you.
The rules as well. The rules were great. We had to read them out to the rules because we didn't read them this time. And for painting Calvin's car a shiny red, which confused us on the first race because we didn't realise it was Calvin.
Love it.
But yeah, you've done a great job and we've all enjoyed it. So.
Glad to hear it, mate. Very glad indeed. Well, thank you very much, Liam, and hopefully we'll see you in Season 3.
I will do.
Cheers. And what better way to finish the evening than with an interview with your Christmas beach party champion, Josh Rayfield. Now, Josh, mate, I mean, you ended the normal season on a high with a team's championship for Team Red Ring, but that last performance then, you just drove off.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened. Because me and Matty both kind of ran wide at turn 1. I kind of went wide with him, and I can't remember if someone got through. And then I just heard everyone like shouting in the chat because everyone's doing like flips and like crashing into each other. And next thing I looked at the relative and I've got like a 3-second gap over Dan, and I was like, "What's going on here?"
And then, well, that gap as well, it got bigger. You know,
it got bigger and bigger. But then Jake got past Dan, and Jake showed me the line he was taking at the end of the race that was getting him into the 48s. And I had one more lap, and he would have been on me 100%. Because he was gaining about the second a lap on me.
Yeah, I think at one point it was even 2 seconds a lap. That last lap seemed to be a bit more even, but yeah, that was it was pretty insane, to be fair, mate. But you know, you came away from it. You've had 3 podium results, including that win. You know, you were second in the first race round with Daytona Short, podium in the oval race, no points on the dirt oval, but then of course finishing it off.
I didn't expect to get my Wi-Fi sorted. That was my thing. Because my Wi-Fi just kept dropping out, and at the end of the oval race, I closed iRacing, obviously, because I was doing it through the website because of my internet.
Yeah.
And I've gone to like refresh the site, and it just didn't load. And then next thing you know, I've disconnected from Discord.
Oh wow.
And then I've gone down, I've restarted the router 3-4 times, and I ended up joining back on my phone hotspot, and then the internet came back up, so it reconnected itself back to that. So.
Well, it certainly worked out for you with that doing its thing as well, because you still managed to get the win. It begs the question: what could you have done with a clean run in the dirt oval race as well? You never know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
Either way, regardless of that, as much conspiracy as possible could be done on that, and still, you are the champion for the evening, mate. So very, very well done. Is there anybody, anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Yeah, shout out to you, mate, for the series, just hosting it, everything.
No
Loved
problem.
it, every minute of it. Had a bit of a rough season, but overall it's been pretty good. Calvin for Magnetic Shifters Sim 3D. Matty, teammate, just helping me for everything. Mum, Dad, Darren, Connor, Gavin, and just everyone who supports me, to be honest.
Love it, Josh. Well, very well done again from everyone here and everybody watching as well. You are the British Boring Car Championship's first ever Christmas beach
The Venga
party
boys has
champion.
come in.
Yes, it is. Have yourself a great night, mate. We'll speak soon.
You too, mate. See you in a bit.
There you go then. As you can tell, Josh very happy indeed. We often joke that Josh doesn't show any emotion in his voice. There was definitely some there, though. He's a very, very happy boy this evening. Anyway, unfortunately, it is time to end, but thank you so much to Ian Roots and Simracersworld TV for allowing us to bring this production to their channel on Simracersworld TV. Thank you everybody for watching and consistently supporting the series. Don't forget, if you want more information on the upcoming events in the British Boring Car Championship and any upcoming seasons, do head to chazdraycott.com/boring cars and you'll see all the information on there. And of course, if you want to, then you can have a look through chazdraycott.com as well for any other events or anything else that I may be up to. But honestly, it's been a real pleasure, everybody, and it's been a hell of an evening. Josh Rayfield wins the Christmas beach party, and I tell you what, he certainly had to work for it. But thank you again, everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful new year, and I'll see you on the flip side in 2021. Good night.